listening to the Rough Tumble Podcast.
Nailed it.
That's the first time we've done that intro. Also,
that guitar part being so good.
Oh, dude, I love it. It's that's Apologetically American by the band 1994.
I like that band.
I don't think they're even a band anymore. So we've introduced a new tradition to start our episodes. This is the first time that we're doing it, and I found these shot glasses in our root cellar.
Oh, that's right. I didn't know that.
And then cleaned them out.
Yeah.
I cleaned them out as best as I could.
So I think it's important just so that people can understand. Is this made of glass? Are these glass?
Yeah,
these are probably Civil War.
Civil War. Well, there was one down there that was like that had a rebel flag on it, and it was like
it was 100%
heritage, not hate, or whatever. It was absolutely like from 1990.
So Jonny has we thought it was a storm shelter.
Yeah,
but I don't think that it is a storm shelter. I don't know what it is, but that's
what it's called. It's a root cellar.
It's a root. So what does a root cellar do?
Basically, just like a place to store things like canned goods.
It's just weird because it's not attached to your house.
Right.
It's like I think of a cellar like a basement. Like let's go into the cellar. You know.
No.
Yours is. So
yeah, it's not attached.
So these shot glasses,
we almost had to use it the other day.
Because of the storms.
Yeah, we had the sirens going off. I was scared actually.
Yeah, I didn't realize I slept through the whole thing.
Yeah,
I don't remember anything.
I wasn't. I was nervous. I was a scared little salamander.
You and both your dogs were at the.
Me and well, it's funny.
You had to put a muzzle on.
Me and Lizzie's dogs are like. They're just like us. It's so weird.
Lizzie put one of those vests on you, like the dog safety vest.
Yeah. How much is Bubba like me? Like he just busts in the door. He's like, whoa.
Yeah, he's like, what the fuck's going on in here?
That's me. Like, hey, I'm here. That's right. What's up?
Hey.
Yeah. All right. To episode 21. This is episode 21 because the Felipe. We're a week ahead right now. The Rough and Tum Tums.
And the Rough and Tum Tums. Everybody on YouTube gets to watch how big of a pussy we are when we take these shots.
Yeah. Oh. Ugh. That's not too bad.
It's not too bad. I expected more.
Yeah.
I'm gonna chase it with my Bud Light Lime.
Oh, that is bad. Oh. That's what got the shivers out of me was the Bud Light Lime. Ugh. That's not good, man.
Bud Light Lime makes everything better.
I already don't like this tradition. So I've got an interesting. Of all
the traditions we have, this is my favorite one.
This is, I think, the only tradition that we have. Awesome. We should start just introducing a new tradition to where
But we never do it again, so it's never a tradition.
We could do that, or we just stack them. We just get to where
then we have a 30-minute stack.
We have a 30-minute intro of this ritual that we have to perform. Some fucking dance in the corner, and yeah.
Baseball players do it.
Oh yeah. So we've talked about QAnon a little bit before.
Yeah.
So recently, my dog is going fucking ape shit right now.
I thought somebody was breaking in your house.
Recently, it's kind of interesting because like everybody wrote QAnon off. Everybody was like, "Oh my god, like this is just stupid. It's dumb." Whatever. Recently, like in the past week, all of a sudden it's gotten a bunch of steam from what I've seen.
You know why?
I see it keep popping up. I know Eddie Bravo had talked about it.
Eddie Bravo talked about it, which, I'm not saying. So we talked about it, and then weeks later, Eddie Bravo talked about it.
Eddie Bravo also retweeted Bryce's triangle, or Twister. Triangle. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about.
So we're basically in the same peer group.
Basically, you're welcome, Eddie.
Yeah.
For providing you such good content.
We'll tag you in this podcast so that you can.
Yeah.
But he did bring up. He called it QAnon or
QAnon.
He was like, "There's these guys. They're Qs. And then he was like, you got to look into it.
There's a hotel right now that's like flying a Q flag and stuff. Here's the thing: is like the way that Mitch is making out with his microphone.
It's because there's so much echo. I'm trying to get it to go away.
I think it sounded fine.
Did it? It sounds weird through my headphones.
No, I think you sound fine.
Okay, I trust you.
Yeah, separate the pop filter just a little bit from the. Yeah,
like
there
that?
you go.
Like that, right? I feel like. Can you hear me?
That's a little bit more echo. Maybe a little bit closer.
That's what I was trying to do.
Right about there. Okay. This is our second of traditions. Is me just telling you to adjust your microphone. We have done that about every episode.
Yeah.
Anyway, so like he had talked about it, and I keep seeing it popping up. And what's funny to me is like the way that Eddie Bravo had described it was these people that are doing vast amounts of research and diving into these conspiracies and these ideas. And I want people to research. I want people to like look into these things and
look into
these conspiracies. Yeah. But what's scary is like, it's only things that I feel like are biased towards a lot of times, or it's this like, so you can connect the dots afterwards. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
The thing is
that's a segment. Here's their newest segment. The thing is with Mitch.
You know what really grinds my gears?
Yeah, that's they were talking about that on the Hammercast too. Is so our friends, we got to talk about it a little bit later, but that's one of the things that they were talking about. They had a segment of what grinds my gears.
You know what really grinds my gears?
Yeah. No, I want a segment of the thing is the thing is with Mitchell. What's the thing, Mitch?
Well, the thing is this. You don't, the QAnon thing, they're not, it just sounds like a bunch of left-wing Democrat stuff. You know, like I didn't, when I was looking into it, okay, so something else Eddie Bravo talked about, and I looked into this, speaking of which, was the Bohemian Covenant thing. I don't know anything about that. Oh, it's so weird. So for you guys out there who are listening, go and you just Google it. It's the Bohemian Covenant, I think is what it's called. But it's this property in California. Mm-hmm. It's basically like Skull and Bones. It's like a secret society. Oh yeah. And these is that where they go and like they do the rituals that they get and there's like an owl and these investigative journalists like embedded in and like made videos of all and they were like top guys and girls like bank owners and like, you know, hedge fund managers and like these top people, and you have to be invited. I like how you included girls into the conversation. Well, I know how progressive you are. You added it into the conversation to be like all inclusive, but I know damn well there probably weren't any women involved in that group. Like, yeah. That's one moment where like being inclusive doesn't get like, because even women are going to look at that and go, I'm not fucking doing that. Yeah. I'm not going to wear a weird robe. Well, you know, a bunch of fucking old white dudes aren't going to let women crash their party. No. They want to sit around and tug on each other's wieners. Yeah. No, but like what I think is, I just think that it's interesting that all of a sudden everybody's like flipped their dialogue of it was like, these are crazy people. And now they're like, there are people that are researching and they're looking into these ideas. And it's a lot of ideas. Oh, Jesus. Here we go. Dude, I think people know when we are recording because I hope so though. Because somebody just sent us, we don't get a ton of messages. Right. But we just got one right now. And it always happens. Yeah. And it happened last time that we recorded. Yep, it did. That's perfect. Just so you guys know, 50-50 chance if you message the Instagram on Sunday or Wednesday around between 12 and 3:30. Yeah, you'll catch us. We're probably recording. So he wants us to cover Charles Bronson. Who's that? Is it Jay? I think it's Alex. Oh, from Alex Smith? Smith G. My boy? Smithkey. Is that his name on His Instagram? Name's Alex Smith, but yeah, it's Alex I know that, Smith but on podcast. Well, whatever. He wants us to talk about Charles Bronson. Charles Bronson? Yeah. The actor? No. Oh, the prison guy. The prison guy from prison.
You're
he
not
was
even.
English.
That's not even the actor. We need to get our. We need listen. We
So
need to
first
get
of
our
all-
facts straight.
Who am I thinking of?
Charles, you're thinking of the billionaire, the guy that owns Virgin
I'm
Atlantic.
Not. Look. You talk amongst yourself, and I'm gonna show
Talking
you.
amongst myself. You're thinking of. Yeah, I think you're thinking of.
No, you're thinking of the guy who owns Virgin Records. That's not who I'm talking about. Look,
Yeah.
Hold on, watch. I'll show
That's who I'm talking
you. Hold
about.
on.
That you're
There was
talking
an
about.
actor.
An actor named Charles Bronson.
I'll show you.
Charles Brunson, maybe.
Brunson.
Maybe that's his
It's
name.
a soft J.
I don't know.
Charles Bronson, the actor. I think that's who he's talking about.
No, he's talking about
That's
the
Charles
criminal. No, he's talking about the criminal
I think the criminal's name was just Bronson.
because he specifically said the criminal. He like did a bunch of crazy murders and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I'm down to talk about it. Here's what I have been trying to avoid.
Oh shit! His name was Charles Bronson. What the fuck?
Boom.
There's 2 Charles Bronsons, and they both got famous.
I was so busy drinking beer, I couldn't get my sentence out.
Well-
There is another. No,
Go ahead.
stop. Halt the presses.
Done. I'm
There's
listening.
another Jonny Wester in
Oh, I was
Jacksonville,
so excited.
Arkansas.
How funny was that Simpsons thing I sent you though?
Yeah, that was a good one.
Thanks.
I can't confirm how I got this information.
So
I received this information.
first of all,
but
I was super curious about how you knew that. I just assumed that you had gotten their mail.
no,
Okay, so you found them.
I found them.
Were you drunk when you were texting me that night?
No,
You were sober,
yeah,
like sober.
yeah. Like most of the time, I'm sober. I'm very rarely drunk. Honestly, I really don't. I don't
So
drink.
You're nothing like me.
No, even if I have like, if I have like a 6-pack of beer in the fridge, I'll drink like 2 a night until
Yeah.
they're gone. But I
Same,
won't
same.
sit. I won't sit down. Now, when I'm editing video, like
Mhm.
tonight, I'll probably sit down and like drink a 6-pack of beer just because I'm sitting there editing video
Well,
and waiting
that
for it to
and
render and playing video
the liquor
games.
stores within walking distance.
Yeah,
Of my house.
yeah. And so like it's just a bunch of sitting around watching a timeline go by. So I'm like, oh my
I want
god,
your life. You have a really cool life.
it's not. You know,
It is.
it's pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie.
You have a
So-
really cool life.
Let me tell you about what my day to day is currently. I want people to hear
I'm
what
just
my
looking
day
at
to
our
day
text
is.
messages where you said also because we were. What's funny about this conversation is that when you told me that there was another Jonny Wester, it was also the same conversation where we were talking about spats versus yoga pants.
Oh yeah, we needed to talk about. I forgot that
We're
was going to be
going
one of
to.
our topics. Okay.
But I said hashtag TJ Brown, and you said literally who I was thinking about.
I really was. I was like,
dude,
okay.
TJ looks so good in his Spanx.
Yeah,
Or his,
spats. It's spats. Listen, here's the difference. And Bob disagrees with me too, but I know that what the issue is. The yoga pants, okay?
Yep.
Yoga pants. Not spandex,
True.
not lycra or whatever. We're talking yoga pants. Like Lululemon, that thick, supportive,
Straight yoga pant.
that gives every female on the planet an incredible
Mhm.
booty.
Yep.
It's like magic.
Mhm.
Men do not wear those. That
Yeah.
is not the same material as spats. Because if that was the same material as spats, I would have a very confused boner in the gym all day long.
Well,
Because it would make... You can't tell me that yoga pants can do that kind of magic on women, but won't do that kind of magic on men.
it would.
So
would.
it's not the same material.
It's not the same material, but I sent you that picture.
Yeah, but those are like those dummies. You
No,
know what I'm saying?
no.
Like that's gonna make any butt look good.
That's me. That's me
What?
in that picture. I'm the
No.
one on the left.
Stupid. For a second, I got kind of concerned. I was like, "Wait, what picture did you send me?
Oh shit!
Was I looking at a different one?"
That's a weird dick.
No, that's for advertisement. Of course, you're gonna make the butt look good.
Yeah.
But listen, go to a jiu-jitsu tournament, look at the guys that are wearing spats, and and look at the average of the guys wearing spats. Because there's gonna be those dudes that are like,
You know who doesn't wear
just
spats?
yoked.
Anybody
I can't
medium
wear it.
heavy above.
Yeah.
If you're medium heavy, middleweight and above. So 181.5 and above, we don't wear those.
I look like I have chicken legs whenever.
That's 'cause you do.
Yeah. I need to show off at least a little bit of thigh in order for people to believe I have
If you would just do
some
some
legs.
leg extensions, I feel like your quads would just really sweep out, and you wouldn't. You would just have drumsticks.
Yeah. So yoga pants and spats are not the same thing.
I don't think that they're the same thing, but the question is this: are spats just yoga pants for men?
Are you saying it's like the equivalent?
Right. Yeah,
No.
the equivalent. You don't think so?
No, I don't think so.
And
because
you're basing that on material alone?
No, because of what yoga pants do for women.
Are you sure I sound okay?
Dude, I think you sound great.
Okay, thank you.
For what yoga pants do for women, like it's on another level.
My question
is there something that does that for men? Is there something like a cock enhancing pants or something?
Yeah, they're called spats.
No, I know what it is. It's gray sweatpants. You're wearing some right now.
I am wearing some.
Apparently, that's like how girls see our dicks.
Dude, my dick looks huge right now.
Have you listened to? Dude, check it out.
Just look at it.
I've heard this before. Like, this is a thing. Like, women try to check out dudes' dicks when they're wearing
I've never
sweatpants.
noticed. I only know like 2 girls in the world.
Single women. It's single women. Because I don't think that married or taken women are the same being as single women. You know what I'm saying?
No, they're
it
more
can be the
desperate.
same. It can be the same person, but they're two totally. It's the same human, but two totally different people.
I want to point out what the listeners can't see, and neither can they. We put our beer in a drawer.
Yeah.
So we have a drawer. That we
Everything has a function. I'm gonna put a soon. It's gonna have a sound effect every time you open it. It's gonna be like, uh-oh.
so that everybody knows.
Yeah. Yeah, because like, dude, I've seen it in action. I think that single women are different, and probably it's the same for men, probably too.
I found a website that sells pheromones, and it's on Amazon. You can look it up, and it's on fair. So I got the idea because I was watching like Ocean's 13, and he puts this stuff on him, and like this chick can't stop trying to have sex with him. So I Googled it.
So this was your idea. Wait, what was your plan?
I just wanted to see if they existed, and they
Okay.
do. And
You don't need any more kids, Mitchell.
Fair. That's a fair assessment.
She's already pregnant. You can't get her pregnant again.
I tell you, the safest form of sex is having sex with pregnant chicks.
Yeah.
Because they can't get pregnant twice. But they can still give you herpes. I'm not saying that I got herpes. I'm just saying that pregnant chicks can still give you herpes.
Is this right? Hey, did you talk yourself in a spiral again? We talked about this on the last episode. As soon as we turned it off, I was like, you talked yourself right into a hole, didn't you? We'll get to it. I'll have an idea that I'm trying to flesh out so hard that I end up just speaking myself into a circle. And if somebody doesn't stop one of us, like if Mitch gets started, I can spot it, but then I can't seem to figure out when or how.
Yeah, you've never, because like the last episode with Josh, I said the same thing at least 100 times.
Well, honestly, sometimes I just zone out. I'm like, just let him get his point out, and I'll
like
pick up somewhere along the way.
It's like when you have company over and your dog starts humping the leg, and you're just like, he'll let him finish.
Yeah, just ignore it. And like the company can't stop looking at it, but you're just
There's no one gonna
oblivious
do
to
anything
it.
about this. He'll finish when he's done.
So, you talked yourself into a circle or into a spiral big time. We can talk about the. I think it's going to be a big episode. It doesn't release until tomorrow, but the Felipe Trovo's podcast episode.
So we are releasing that one tomorrow, not this one.
Correct. Okay. Yeah, Felipe's comes out tomorrow. Which Nate had messaged me. He hadn't listened to our episode until I guess just the other day. He was asking about how the reaction was towards his.
I thought it was great.
I thought it was too. Everybody really
great.
liked him.
I want to have him on again.
I do too.
I just like hanging out with Nate.
Yeah,
he's just fun to hang out with.
Dude, so whenever before I moved to Conway, I had this brief stint of being on Dixon Street, which is like the bar street. This is college town. And like that was what me and Nate did. We just went out and partied all the time, lived it up.
He doesn't even seem like he would be the partying type.
Oh, dude, he will cut a rug. He dances like none other, and
I want to see it.
Everybody in the club will be circled up around Nate.
We got to get that. I want to.
I'm telling you, he is a stud. I love him to death. Yeah, I thought his episode was great, and so was Josh's. We had that one out too long ago. But Felipe's, his comes out finally tomorrow, and I've been really excited about that one.
Well, because you were the only one on it.
I was the only one on it. Mitch was out of the picture, which was the goal when we started this podcast. Was I was going to start a podcast with him just to get rid of him. It just went really well. I don't remember if I did. I'm so mixed up on episodes. I don't want to talk about the same things over and over again, but I don't know what episode is coming out when now. We're 21 episodes deep. We didn't even celebrate our 20th episode.
Or our 21st.
We're going to... This is 21st.
Well, at least we took a shot on our 21st birthday.
That's true. There we go. We did.
Boom.
Bang. That was totally unintentional. Yeah. But we did. We're going to have to celebrate 25, I think. Oh,
for sure.
That'll be the next benchmark is like 25, 50, 75, 100.
Because that's when your insurance goes down.
Yeah. Is it when you're 100?
Or is that when you can... You say it's when you're 100. Yeah. Or can you rent a car at 25? Which one is it?
I don't know. I know
that your insurance goes down.
You got to have a goddamn credit card in order to rent a car. I've made that mistake.
Yeah, I tried to buy furniture one time, and they said, you don't have good enough credit. I said, well, how do I get credit? They were like, well, you have to go buy something.
Yeah. How do I buy something without credit?
I feel like this is working myself into a circle again.
Yeah. It's so... Man, I'm so bad with money. I wish I was better. I need to get better with money. I really am.
I'm not. I have a personal financial advisor who lives with me.
Oh.
So I don't have to worry.
Is that what she does?
She does all the finances, yeah.
Oh, but I mean, like, is that what she does, like, for a living?
No, for a living, she's a dental assistant.
Oh, okay.
She's just really good with money. It's a big OCD thing.
Lizzie is too. I need to just hand over all my money to her.
Dude. Just give it to her. I don't even know.
That's how cults start.
You're not wrong. There are days where I'll get a text that says that a bill was paid, like an automate, and then I'll go, oh, I got paid today.
Yeah.
And I've gotten paid on the 1st and the 15th for the last 17 years, but I just don't keep track because she handles everything.
She does everything.
Yeah,
that's nice.
I know. I don't have to worry about nothing.
I wish
So here's the thing. So with my son's mom, she handled all the finances. She did a great job with it.
Mm-hmm.
And then I met my next future ex-wife. and I was like, well, my last wife handled all the finances. Surely this one does the same thing. So I put her in charge of finances.
It's like you think it's like a prepackaged deal.
Yeah. I just at this point I'm like, okay.
Can I get the one that's good with finances, please?
Nope, not you.
Yeah.
Okay. And then I was like, why are we broke all the time? We make pretty good money.
She was spending on drugs.
She was a drug addict. So, and then I was really hesitant to let women handle my money for a while. I really wish that I was better with money. I'm just not. And I learned that, I learned really bad spending habits from a young age. Yeah.
And they're just hard to break.
Were you spoiled by your parents or?
No, not at all. We were really poor.
Yeah.
Growing up, my dad had this lawsuit going on with the VA most of my life. He couldn't work, do physical labor for a long time because he had a huge amount of hernia surgeries. I don't remember exactly what the number was. It was something like 12 hernia surgeries. I mean, it was insane. But it was all because of the military and the work that the military made him do. So the VA, and there's other things. I don't know exactly the details of the lawsuit, but anyways, it took him forever. And then whenever he won the lawsuit, it took him forever to pay for it.
Mm-hmm.
And so we were like super, super poor. And I'm around that age where I'm starting to pay attention to how my parents are spending money. And we get this decent chunk of change that came in. My parents were like, okay, we're like living on welfare right now while my dad goes through college. Right. And we got like $7,000. You know what I'm saying? So
that was the lawsuit?
I think it came in like 2 portions and it was like 14 grand or something like that.
That's
so it's like, it's a lot, but it's not all that much. You know what I'm saying? And we're like 9 grand in debt and we need a new car and we need this and that and the other. So it's like, so do we try to save this and make this last for 4 years because we're going to be taken off of welfare?
Right.
Because now we have too much. Or do we get all of these things done right now and try to burn through this cash before we get taken off of welfare? So it's like situations like that where I was like, oh, so that's how you deal with money. You get it in your hands and then you just fucking burn it. you just, whoosh, there it goes.
I've got to get rid of this money.
Yeah. And then whenever I started like doing playing music and stuff, I can't walk into a gas station without wanting to buy something.
Same.
Because like every gas, that's how we fed ourselves for like 300 days a year. It was like gas station food.
No, you're exactly right, dude. It's the same with me because like I have I'm fairly ritualistic, and every single morning I wake up, I get ready, I go to the same gas station, I buy my small little 8-ounce Red Bull, and I buy a bottle of water every single morning.
Yeah,
every single morning. Same gas station, same people.
I'm the same way. I have like a little routine that I have to do. I just do it every single day, and I can't help myself.
I've tried to be like, you know what? I'm just not going to do it. And I tried to not do it. Fucked me up all day.
I'll make food here or something or whatever. Yeah, I just
really
can't do
weird.
it. Lizzie got mad at me because I was paying all my money off to the Christians going to Chick-fil-A.
Oh, yeah.
She's like, you're she's chewing me out about it. She's like, you're giving all your money away to the Christians.
So here's what's interesting about that, right? So my uncle is gay. Yeah, he's been gay since I've known him. I've only known he's been gay for probably like the last 15 or 20 years, right? And so growing up, he was a big part of mine and my brother's lives. He was like the male figure. And he was like, it's weird. So when you don't know that your uncle is gay, so he was my mom's brother. When you don't know that your uncle is gay, and he's kind of like the only male role model you have, because my dad worked a lot when my parents were together. So my parents were together, then they weren't together. And they were together, then they weren't together. So there were times where like the only role model we had male-wise was my uncle. But he hadn't come out of the closet yet. And so we thought he was like the coolest dude ever. Like he had a jukebox in his house. Like he was like the most badass dude ever. And
love disco music.
He was like a huge fan of disco and like the Birdcage, that movie, The Birdcage. So, but what were you talking about earlier? God damn it. God.
You just talked yourself into a circle. I didn't even see that one coming. I'm sorry.
I had a point.
I would have stopped you.
Making a really good point.
I had a night since you started talking about your gay uncle or whatever.
You were talking about something.
Dude, nobody cares anymore. You lost it.
No, it was a good one.
So I was thinking about this the other day. Like, I can't figure out why I have so many like. I wouldn't say I identify as a female. Like, kind of jokingly, I kind of do. Like,
go on.
Yeah. So I just wear women's clothing. Like, that's it. No, I'm just kidding. But like, I just get along better with females.
Yeah, we talked about that.
Yeah. I think that like the things that they do are generally just better. I like one of my favorite genres of music is girl punk rock. Like any
like Riot Girl and like Babes in Toyland or
I don't know either of those bands, but I'm gonna check them out now. But yeah, like bands like honestly any like female front woman of a punk rock band. Did I say
Girl Riot or
yes.
Riot Girl?
I think you said Girl Riot.
It's Riot Girl. It was a whole movement. Riot Girl was a whole movement. Babes in Toyland was a huge proponent of that. Technically, Sonic Youth was too because they had a female vocalist. But
well, even like female jiu-jitsu, I would just pay more attention to. They're prettier. They are cooler. I like them better.
I didn't know that. So I met Michelle Nicolini.
Yeah.
She's so beautiful.
Go on.
I know. Is she a lesbian?
No, I don't know.
Okay.
But that was actually my point. I was like, I think, because I also don't like dudes. I'm not gay. I don't like dudes because, honestly, the only reason I don't like dudes is because they're fucking gross. You know what I'm saying? Like, dudes are gross. So I feel like maybe I'm a lesbian, you know?
But
like a lipstick lesbian.
Oh,
but like trapped in a man's body. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm definitely not like butch, like, yo. You know, like.
So.
I don't know what is like a butch lesbian sound like. Yo. That's the only impression I could think of. But I'm definitely like a pretty lesbian.
Yeah, I think you're pretty.
Yeah.
So you're transgender?
No, I'm not transgender. I like being a dude. Like I like having a penis.
Who doesn't?
I was just saying, like
I tug on mine all the time.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing down there, little guy?
If there were a meter, right? Like this is how feminine you are. This is how masculine you are. I think I'm floating like just left of center.
What would you say I was? Like you've known me for a couple of years.
I think you're probably right in the middle.
Kind of where you are?
Yeah. A little bit more right leaning.
Just because I have muscles?
No, just because you are. I don't know. I just think that if we were in a relationship, I would probably be the woman. Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know, dude. You probably would. You probably would be. I've known you for a while. Yeah, you'd be. Yeah, I'd be the dude.
And that's just how.
But I would help you. You know, like I would help you with.
Yeah, it's not. It would be. Yeah. That's kind of what the point I'm making.
I'm pretty.
Yeah, you're not
I'm pretty considerate.
You wouldn't expect a beer every night whenever you came home to me.
I'd rub your feet.
Yeah. Honestly. Yeah, there you go.
You know what I mean? Like
you'd go down on me.
Yeah,
right?
I'd go.
We've got 4 episodes where we've steadily declined into like being more gay. Oh, good God. That's funny. Just to be clear, I'm a straight male. I just think, I think that women are cleaner, prettier, smarter, like better at most things, honestly, that don't involve like, honestly, just heavy lifting. That's really the only thing men are good at.
Can they drive stick shifts? I don't know. Has Lizzie ever drove your truck?
Well, I only know one female, and she cannot.
That's unfortunate.
So I don't look at other women. So that joke is stolen. I can't take credit for that, but you know who you are. So that was the point that I came here to make today, was that I'm a lesbian trapped in a man's body.
I think that's every guy.
That's it, right? Well, like, no, because I think that some dudes are like so like masculine. Yeah, they're like, I think most dudes are like way over here on somewhere in between the moderate to extreme masculine side. Or if they're not, they force themselves to be over there. You know what I'm saying? Which usually those are the ones that are like complete opposite in how they actually feel.
So you're not flamboyant.
No.
Yeah. I would agree.
I'm just, I'm like, here's sinner, and I'm like just shy.
I'm the same way. I was really close to my mom.
There you go.
And
not wearing women's clothing.
No, you don't have to wear women's clothes to be close to your mom.
But I definitely think that Kesha is one of my top 5 favorite artists. So, you know what? Okay. You know who Kesha is? Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah.
I'm not dumb.
Top 5 favorite artists.
I wouldn't put him in my top
5. She's so catchy. Anyways, have you heard her song?
Nope.
She has one of the greatest "fuck you" songs I've ever heard. Apparently, she wrote it about her manager, and it's like, oh, I hope you're praying or whatever. Anyways, it's a banger. You should listen to it for sure.
I'm trying to think of there's this. I'm gonna see if I can find her. Oh, this is awesome.
That I could put that on my. I had another idea. Okay, dude, I've had some zingers this week. Listen to this.
My dog just knocked himself unconscious.
What?
Yeah. There was a cat that came across our front yard, I guess.
Yeah.
And my dog. I have a boxer. He's like my best friend. He was sitting on the chair and he saw the cat, and we have a glass front door.
Oh no!
He took off running full speed to chase the cat and ran into the door.
Is he okay?
According to this, he's okay.
Are you reading it in a news article? What are you talking?
Fox News.
According to this, like, CNN reports.
No, my live-in texted me and said that she said Duke just knocked himself out, and then she told me the story as to why. He deserves it though. He's the best dog ever, but he deserved to get.
Is he like a Bubba?
He's like a Bubba. They would be like best friends.
I don't know that they. So
no, it's like okay. So truth of the matter is they'd probably fight.
Yeah.
But like personality wise, if they would just give each other a chance.
Yeah, that's the problem with Bubba is like
I know
dogs. So he's made one friend his entire life, and it was this female dog Mia. They were like a match made in heaven. Mia was like, if you took a photo negative of Bubba, you know, he's like speckled but pretty light.
So it was like reverse.
Mia was the photo negative of that. And it was my next door neighbor's dog, and Bubba got out. And my next door neighbor was like, he was Hispanic, and he was like directly from Mexico, and he had an accent. It was cute, but he was telling me, he's like,
here we go.
No, I'm not going to do it because I'll mess it up.
We're back.
It'll be like Jamaican or something. But he goes, man, I didn't know if I was going to have to kick this dog because it was like it was running straight at us. Yeah. And I was like, oh my God, it's going to attack us. And all he did was like run straight at Mia, jump completely over her, and then like turn around and start playing with her. Like all he wanted to do was show that he was able to jump over her, and then they were best friends.
I do the same thing when I meet a new girl.
Yeah, just check this out. And you're leap off of her shoulders. Yeah, I do that too. I did it at a bar one time.
You'll do.
Yeah. So my dog's a crazy animal. So we've got a friend, Scott.
Yep.
He recently started his own podcast, the Hammercast. We talked about it in a previous episode. His first episode came out. I don't know what their posting schedule is. I need to ask him.
I don't either.
There's
like three guys. Is it like three guys on there?
Yeah, there's three guys on there.
And by the way, Scott, I know you saw my post where I asked you to create a hammer.
No, he told me he's making it this week.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, because I follow him on Instagram.
You back off right now.
Cool your jets.
Yeah, he messaged me about it.
Okay, good. Mm-hmm. We're gonna put it right there on the table too.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be fucking great.
We have this is like our table of. I need to put our other cup holders cup things over here. Where's our table of?
Oh yeah, the coasters.
Yeah, of gifts that we've been given.
We're gonna have to get a bigger table.
Eventually, I want to kind of hang, maybe like hang stuff up or whatever. But anyways, he's got a podcast, the Hammercast. It's on Spotify. It's on iTunes. I don't know how he got approved on iTunes so quick. It took us forever. I got the artwork wrong though.
And not to interrupt you, but
you're gonna interrupt me.
100%.
Okay.
Lizzo.
Yeah.
is I've been listening to her a lot.
Yeah, the song the song
Truth
that she got popular
Truth
with
Hurts,
Why Man Great.
Great.
I fucking love that song.
It's a great
First of all,
song.
Yeah.
She has another song out.
Yeah.
And it's really fucking
good. Truth Hurts was out for 3 years before it became viral.
Get the fuck out.
This year.
That song is super fucking catchy.
I know, right? You'd think that would have been
I heard it one time and I was like, put it on my list.
Yeah, you can immediately tell that's going to be... I'm going to get real fucking tired of that soon, but...
Nope.
It's going to be... Oh, yeah, that was overplayed for sure, but...
Good as Hell is the other one, I think, is what it's called.
Yeah. No, I'm all about it. I love...
Dude, she's super good.
I just love it. She's hilarious.
She is.
So there's a band I've been listening to. It's a hardcore band. Okay,
you posted on your Instagram?
Yeah, let's go one step at a time. We've got to talk about Hammercast.
Sorry, Scott.
Okay. So one of the points that he made, the whole reason that he was called the Hammercast is he's talking about sometimes you're the hammer, sometimes you're the nail. And the interesting thing that I think he brought up is everybody has a different reason for why they're the hammer. He's talking about like one of the reasons that he feels that he's the hammer, the way he's just crushing it in life is doing what he wants to do and doing what he wants to do for a living.
What does he do for a living?
So now him and his wife own a business where they're doing wedding, like
Pictures, photographs.
no, like excuse me, like kind of the decorations, like the
party planning.
Yeah, like
Wedding
I
planning?
think wedding planning, but I don't know if it's necessarily that on that degree. It's like seating arrangements.
Okay.
And like
that sounds exactly like planning a
stuff
wedding.
like that. I don't fucking know. I don't know how
the
it works.
words that you're saying allude to party planning.
Okay, I don't want to just throw that on
No, I
him
feel you.
if
I feel
that's
you.
not
I
what he
understand.
does. But I definitely need to get the details of it so we
Yeah.
can, shout his business out.
For sure.
But anyways,
And he's in Florida.
he's in Florida. He's got a friend that's a barber, another friend that is a nurse of some sort, and they do a podcast. So he's talking about what makes you the hammer, and I thought it would be interesting if we discussed what we felt makes us individually the hammer.
No, that's great.
What we're doing that's crushing it, or what we feel is crushing it. What is making it? What's making us different right now? You know what I'm saying?
No, yeah, that's great, man. And so I think you would agree, and I think most of our listeners would agree that that's a within the realm of combat sports. That's a fairly used term, right? Sometimes
Yeah, and that was one of the points that he's making. Is
Absolutely,
he
dude,
started
'cause,
thinking
I
about
mean,
it from jiu-jitsu
dude,
class.
there's days I go to class and I am the hammer.
Yeah,
I don't know what I'm doing that day, but I'm doing something, right? And then other days I'm getting fucked up, so now I'm the nail. But as far as personal life is concerned, I definitely feel like I'm hammering right now. I think a lot of it is my age and my position in life. Just because professionally, I'm at a position in life in my job where I'm kind of gaining some momentum in that realm, and then my age itself, so I've learned a lot about the stupid shit that I did when I was a kid or when I was younger in my 20s. So I'm working on becoming debt free, right? So like grown up talk, like I'm trying to become debt free. So by the end of the year, if everything goes like it should, I'll be debt free, so I won't have any debt, which is good when you have 6 kids. It's hard to go to Disney World when you're trying to pay off credit cards.
yeah.
And so
It's hard to use credit cards.
It's
to
hard
go
to
to Disney World if you have to pay off other credit cards.
I know. So, but ultimately, I honestly feel like I'm crushing it right now. Like, and I've talked about this on the podcast a few times about I've got a few things in the works, professionally as far as getting things to work out. I'm trying to finish up my degree. I'm trying to possibly look at getting my commission, going from enlisted to a commission position, becoming an officer, things like that. So, that's where I'm at. So I'm definitely feeling like I'm the hammer right now.
Why am I the hammer? I'm glad you asked.
I'm
I'll tell you. We're gonna take these shots to us being the hammer. So here's Andor. I filled yours up a little bit more than I did mine now.
It's not much.
But fair's fair.
There you go.
Okay, so and to our good friend starting a podcast.
Oh,
So the first shots were our 21st
that's
birthday.
right.
This one is for our
This is
friend
for Scott.
Not yet though, because
Okay.
I'm gonna tell
Okay,
you.
no,
I'm gonna answer your question
My
that you asked me about how am I the hammer. So unfolds piece of paper.
I didn't expect to win this award.
Yeah.
I just feel like I opened up your brief.
No, I've had a little bit more time to think about it.
Yeah, because you just brushed it on me. Yeah.
But I'd started thinking about like, dude, something's been different like the past 6 months, 6 to 8 months, since before we started the podcast, and the podcast helped with it. Just like, kind of getting myself a little bit more exposure, I guess. Maybe like opening up a little bit more.
You think maybe
would be part of it.
Getting used to talking and like just expressing what's in your head?
A little bit, but here's what makes me feel like right now I'm the hammer is that like I've learned, and I think a little bit of it's my age too. I've learned to truly 100%. I feel like I've just stopped caring about what other people think about me.
That's okay. So that's really good. And so I say that only because I'm kind of there too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And it's like, because I used to, even when we first started the podcast, and I was telling one of my students the other day about like, I don't care what anybody thinks about me until I feel like somebody is misinterpreting my feelings, or my intentions.
Well, it becomes personal there.
But even then, I feel I've learned that, like, I know that my intentions for the most part are good. I would agree. I won't lie. I've done things that are wrong, and I've done things on purpose that are wrong that might be considered malicious. So I can't say that 100.
We talked about it on the podcast.
Yeah, I can't say 100% of my decisions have been with good intentions. But for the most part, I know that I'm a good person, and I know that I have good intentions, and that's what matters the most. And so, but somewhere, and everybody knows that. Everybody knows that's how you're supposed to feel, and that's how you're supposed to accept yourself, is that you know that you're good, and so you're just okay with yourself. And I wouldn't say that I'm just okay with myself. Maybe this is just a phase, but like somewhere along the way, there was just that last little bit that I just like let go. And then I was like, dude, I feel so free to do whatever I want.
You're not wrong, dude. Like, honestly, the last 6 months have been that for me.
Yeah.
And my approach is what you're talking about, where a big part of it is just making the realization that there's nothing you can do about what other people feel and think, right?
It's having a black belt. Nobody can tell me no.
Part of it. Nobody can tell me no. And so
I'm the boss now.
I'm the captain.
Yeah.
And so for me, and I'll tell you this, when you get to that level, your stress level in life diminishes significantly.
Yeah. No, I wouldn't say my stress level is that necessarily gone down.
You run a business. You've got a lot, you and I have a lot of things going on. We were just talking about before we started recording, about how we have like 50 projects that are ongoing that we have yet to complete.
Right.
That are big news for 2020.
That's just my life in general. That's like how I live my life. But somewhere along the way, I just decided to like let go of that last little bit of care that I had that other people think about me, to the point where somebody had said something to me not too long ago. We're like, yeah, this person like said this and this. And I was just like, I had the feeling of trying to make myself care about how that person felt about me. And then I was like, man, I just don't. I just can't. I don't have that ability right now. Maybe it'll come back.
Hopefully it doesn't, honestly. There's been situations like that here in the past month or so where my response to things like that has been simply this. Man, that's just unfortunate. Yeah, it's unfortunate that you feel that way.
I think that I need some of it. I hope that a little bit of it's a phase, because some of it's good to be afraid of what people think of you, or like to care about what people think about you, because that's what makes you normal. That's what makes you make good decisions a lot of the times.
I don't think that you're insinuating that you have stopped caring. What I think you're trying to say is that you don't get wrapped around the axle. It just doesn't affect me. Right. Yeah.
Like, I'm just like, I don't.
Obviously, we do a podcast. We have an audience. And so people's opinions matter.
Right.
But we don't get wrapped around the axle we don't go home after this and go, man, that really fucked me up.
Yeah.
It's just like, well, man, like, it's like.
I'm here to say, though, that's a new development for me. I don't know where it came from.
I'm glad it's there.
But it's there.
It's like the Matthew McConaughey. You know, it's the whole like, all right.
Yeah. You know what it is I broke the seal the other day when I got super shit-faced.
At the wedding?
Yeah. And now I'm just a free bird. I don't care anymore.
You grow a mullet.
I'm running around naked. I'm not going to grow a mullet. Come on, guys. I'm tired of that. I'm sticking with classic Jonny hair.
What are the odds of us starting a podcast with the same haircut?
Well, us starting a podcast together, it's not like we started the podcast and then one of us was like, well, I'm going to have this haircut.
No, we both had it at the beginning.
We've had it for a long time.
We've always had this haircut. Yeah. We fought with this haircut.
Yeah. The joke was actually that
who had better hair?
Who lost was going to have to shave their head.
Oh, we did talk about that.
Yeah, I'm not putting that kind of shit up, dude. I've got a bumpy ass head.
I have a giant head. My head's grown in the last 5 years.
You've had to shave it for the military, though, right?
In the beginning.
Are we going to take this shot?
Yeah, dude.
Let's do it.
You're the one that poured it.
So
this is to Scott?
To Scott's the Hammercast. Yep.
That's the good stuff. That's the good stuff.
I can still feel it. That's good.
It's not bad.
I'm not too drunk yet.
It's not bad.
It's when I can't feel it anymore. That's whenever I'm like too gone.
I got throttle back.
Yeah.
That's like, so you're not trying to get wedding drunk.
No. Are you in? Yeah, you're in the shot there.
Of course I'm in the shot. I'm always in the shot.
So we don't have a topic. Oh, I wanted to talk about Gouge Away. This band, Gouge Away, the band that I posted.
The band you posted. I went and listened to them. Not my taste of music. Because you know how much I appreciate your taste of music.
Yeah, yeah.
And no matter what you
I
post,
knew it wouldn't be. I knew, yeah.
But I always I always go check them out first. Like, actually, it was, I think you posted it Monday night or Wednesday night. The only reason I mentioned that is because I want to say it was either Tuesday or Thursday. I was in my truck sitting in front of West Side because I was checking my Instagram and you posted it. And I was like, well, I got to check it out. Yeah. And so I already had my phone hooked to my Bluetooth. So I went and listened to him and I was like, you know what? It's a little too hard for me. Mm-hmm. But point is, anytime you post music, you know I'm always going to go check it out.
Thanks, man.
I always go check it out.
I've been having to drive more because of being in Jacksonville. Dude, so I've been listening to so much more music and I've been getting I've got some good bands. I'm going to post some more. That's if you want good music, go to my Instagram, Compton Jonny.
Well, yeah, because that's how I found Sleepy Dog. Through you. Still one of my favorite bands.
Still, yeah. Oh, he's so good.
He's so good.
So Gouge Away is a
So here's what we're gonna do. I have to pee super bad.
Okay, you go pee. I'll talk about Gouge Away.
That's perfect timing.
Gouge Away is it's a hardcore band. It's it's a hardcore band that's, I would say, a little bit more leaning on the metal side, the kind of metalcore side. But anyways, it's a female vocalist, and one of the things that I really, really love about her vocals, I can't remember her name because I don't research anything for shit, but that's how it goes. One of the things that I really love about her vocal stylings is that she can get so much more attitude and sass to the vocals than a lot of guys can, and I fucking love it. It's so good. It's just so so rebellious in every way, and she talks a lot about mental health and in her lyrics and things like that, and the way that she words things is just brilliant. But the music that goes with it is fantastic as well. But her just swagger that she has is just so good, and so so like I said, so rebellious, and I fucking love it. It's just so good. But anyways, it's Gouge Away. One of the songs that I really love by them, I think it's called Uproar, and it's it's just a really, really catchy song. But I had a friend that she's been gone for a really long time. I don't know how to talk about these things without somebody to talk back to me. I feel it's empty in here. Hello? Anyways, so I had one of my students had messaged me after I'd posted that about Gouge Away, that asking about, is this considered hardcore music? Is this, they're curious because they've heard me talk about hardcore music. And it's kind of a funny thing. Dude, thank God you're back, dude.
Were you running out of things to say?
Yeah. I already talked to it. I already said everything that I was like, hello. I already said everything that I wanted to about Gouge Away. To sum it up, the thing that I really like about her vocal stylings is that she can reach so much.
It's a female?
Yeah, it's a female.
I didn't realize that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a female.
When I was listening to it, I knew it was hardcore. I had no idea that was a chick.
Yeah, that's a female that's doing the vocals. And when you listen to it, this is a female that's singing, you can hear some of the nuances that make it just like the way that I can describe it is she reaches an attitude and a sass that men can't tap into. You know what I'm saying? It's just that female attitude, I think now I don't know how to describe it.
I might go give it another second.
Yeah.
Chance.
And when you hear the way that she just enunciates some words, the way that she kind of trails off on some of her lyrics, you hear like that's a female saying that. It doesn't necessarily sound like a female, but like you can tell that's like has this raw attitude that can only be produced from a woman. You know what I'm saying? Like
I imagine lyrically, it's got to be drastically different as well.
It's not so much. She talks a lot about mental. She talks a lot about mental health is one of her big things that she talks about. But she still masks it with pretty words and like
I gotcha.
Says things in a certain way. You know, like using analogies and lyricals and stuff. Lyrical. So she does a good job with that. But yeah, just the way that she says things, and I'm just like, she has so much attitude to it, and I love it.
You know,
this
another swagger. Right now, we're hyping some female musicians right now.
I don't care. I love the ladies, Kesha,
Gougeway, and then Kesha. And I'm gonna go there, and I'm gonna say one of my favorite female vocalists is the lead singer of Paramore.
Oh yeah, Hayley Williams.
Mm-hmm. Her vibrato and her ability. Oh my god.
Yeah. So a lot of people don't know she's been doing it since she was like 13 or 14.
Yeah, she sounds like she's got some I don't know, I wouldn't say classically trained, but she's not what you would expect. You know, she's had some lessons.
Yeah.
You don't rein that type of voice in on accident without some control.
I'm not going to tell the full story, but I talked to her one time. No.
A friend of mine had sex with Evanescence.
Oh, the girl from Evanescence.
Yeah, because she's from Little Rock.
Yeah. Well, of course, everybody from Little Rock had to have had sex with her because she's from there.
Well, he's not from Little Rock.
No. They used to play a little like they used to take a trailer and tow it around to where the Warped Tour was going, and then they would play in the parking lot off
Paramore
of the trailer.
Did?
Yeah,
that's
whenever
legit.
She was like 13 and 14.
Dude, that's where it's at. That's a really good idea.
Yeah. Well, they stopped allowing people to do that. We left this light
Obviously. on. No, we did.
I left this light on. I don't like this light on. Why did we do that? That's okay.
Super white. It's a white light.
It gets like we have a lot of yellow going on, and then this throws in a lot of blue, and then makes it just look kind of off.
That's why I leave you to all these things, man. You're like the genius when it comes to this stuff.
Well, I fucked it up. I'm sorry to let everybody down.
I wouldn't have even noticed.
Let's cancel the episode.
All right, we're gonna delete this.
No. So I was getting on another topic because
while I was in the bathroom.
Yeah, because I had already said everything that I wanted to about Gougeway.
I noticed that Lizzie uses Mitchum deodorant.
I don't know what that is.
I didn't know they even made it for women. It's like such a huge. It's like a manly deodorant.
I'll be honest. I don't know what the fuck Mitchum. All right.
I mean, I just noticed it was on. Also.
So, anyways,
your toilet seat doesn't stay up.
Our toilets in this house, we've got to replace.
I was trying to be considerate. I'm going to lift it. You know,
the spare. Have you sat down on the spare one?
Yeah, I took a crap whenever I came in the house.
It like traps you.
Does it?
It like maybe because I don't really have a butt. I get like sunk in there and it like suction cups on my behind.
I got a lot going on behind me.
So I was about to start talking about after posting about Gouge Away.
Okay.
I had a student that had asked me. He was like, "Is this hardcore music?" He didn't know.
Oh, he was still looking for like identity for the.
Yeah, and just like, is this what hardcore is, or is there like different flavors of hardcore? And I was kind of explaining to him like,
yes, I mean
there are different flavors of it, and it's a lot. What's interesting is like, so it's a lot like jiu-jitsu where you'll have groups of like no-gi, gi, dudes that are more wrestling based, dudes that are MMA based, that are sambo, catch wrestling, all of these different styles, these different flavors. And if a jiu-jitsu guy runs into a guy that's like, oh yeah, I only do catch wrestling, and we're like, oh, what's up? We have something kind of in common. We can bond over that. That's kind of, and like it's grouped all into grappling, you know, or like combat sports. Even a jiu-jitsu guy and a boxing guy could find things in common. Whereas
I think metalcore and hardcore, if a person is just getting into hardcore, I think some metalcore in their minds could get
There's some crossover.
Yes,
So yeah,
yes.
the best way that I can describe hardcore music, it would be like punk and metal.
Yes.
And so there's a group called metalcore that's basically like you'll hear a lot of like breakdowns, like chugga 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 chugga,
Yep.
and a lot of like it's drastic difference from like low to high, chugga ree chugga chugga ree ree, that kind of stuff.
So what would you put
I
under
can't believe
oath?
I'm describing this.
No, that's okay. The listeners want to know.
Yeah, right.
So where would you place under oath?
Metalcore.
Metalcore.
Yeah.
And then
A lot of people
so like terror would be like
would be hardcore for sure.
What about I Wrestled a Bear Once?
Honestly, I've never really listened to them.
Really?
Yeah.
You know why? Here's the reason I bring them up.
Yeah.
Because I'm friends with those guys.
Oh yeah, I've never
On
really
accident.
listened to them.
So the guitarist and actually the entire band, for the most part, of I Wrestled a Bear Once, was in a band with guys I went to high school with called Statues Cry Bleeding.
That's so stupid.
It was a joke name because they were like, let's think of the most emo hardcore name we can think of.
Yeah.
So they came up with Statues Cry Bleeding. They were in a great band, a guy named Jason Hines, maybe his name. Yeah, Jason Hines. They broke up, and then they picked up their lead singer, who's a female, and became I Wrestled a Bear Once. Here's the crazy part about that.
They didn't wrestle any bears.
Not one bear.
Not one.
Not one bear. And on top of
That
that,
name's a fucking lie.
I'm not going to say all the details, but what I will say is this. There was some posing going on.
Oh yeah.
Right? In the respect that they went on the road on a tour, and I'll just say it this way. They didn't have to worry about money because mommy and daddy were making sure that they were financially okay.
Because they were posing.
Yeah. So
that's awesome.
That's what I think is funny.
They were posing for nudes.
They were posing for nudes in front of urinals.
Do you think that? Okay, so hold on. I've got another question.
I'm not even
for
mad about
later.
the fact that they were financially supported. What I'm saying is that they play this whole like, oh, we're a hardcore band and we're struggling. You were on the fucking road struggling eating gas station.
Yeah,
food.
but we already have established that I will definitely pose naked for a certain amount of money.
Over a horse trough.
Not over a horse trough. That's actually my line. Is where the horse trough is. That's what we found out from that. That's where my line is.
Episode 3, we found out like that was like.
Yeah, that's what you call a callback. If you want to go back to episode 3, you can hear where Jonny draws the line on.
And where it's also where we established that just because it's in black and white doesn't make it art.
Yeah. There was a guy. Oh, he was so hairy.
A good story. That was such a good story.
So anyways. Excuse me.
You have such a more fun life than I do.
Dude, I really don't. I think you have a great life.
You have the funniest stories in life. Like,
no.
Dude, I've sit around and talked to my buddies. I'm like, dude, Jonny has the funniest fucking stories.
Stop.
I'm just saying.
You stop. No, so I
You're
don't.
the best.
So Mitch is getting drunk again. No, I had a direction I was going. Fuck.
Was it about financing tours?
Oh yeah, and that what I'll do for money. A lot. But I don't know where I was going with all of this. Oh, okay. So so the term screamo.
Oh, that was a good one. That's a good one. Would you put
That's
Thursday? Would Thursday?
I
be
would say
screamo?
Thursday screamo.
Yeah. I
Basically,
love Thursday.
see, I do like I like Thursday for a nostalgic reason.
Yes.
But
same,
even
same.
whenever the nostalgia was there, like whenever I was listening to it because I liked it, I was still like, this is a really shitty band.
Jeff is not a good singer.
Yeah, he's not.
He's not a good singer.
And that's what I would classify most screamo in. It's like all of those bands where they're screaming and you're like, this is really bad. Like Chiodos. Do you remember Chiodos?
That dude could sing though.
He could sing, but dude, it was so high pitched and obnoxious.
Dude, here's what I loved about Chiodos. It was super high pitched and obnoxious. What I'll say about Chiodos, some of the best song names ever though.
Yeah, I got really tired of like
it got old after the
paragraph
first album.
long.
Yes.
Yeah, there were a lot of bands that did that.
So Chiodos is one of my favorite bands back in the day.
I would say I would put screamo in a very, very isolated timeline.
I wouldn't say Thursday and
from like
Chiodos were in the same group though.
I think they were.
I don't think they were.
See, I do.
I don't, because and you can't deny the fact that Understanding in a Car Crash still one of, at least in the top
Oh, it's a
10
great
best
song.
songs ever.
Oh, not top 10 best songs.
Top
But it was a
20?
good song. No.
What the fuck?
I would even put like Ape Dot or not
Ape Does Mill by
Ape Dot Mill is like
Glassjaw?
definitely one of the top.
That's in my top
20
10.
songs.
Yeah.
But Glassjaw would be like kind of on the screamo side of that stuff. I think that it existed in like a very particular time from about 2004 to about 2008.
100%. I agree.
For about those 4 years is when that kind of genre exploded, and somewhere in that time, everyone attached anything that had screaming to that name.
To screamo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Well, what would be an example of emo then?
okay, so
Would you say like Hawthorne Heights or like
I would say here's what I would call Hawthorne Heights: bad music.
100%. They had one good song and it wasn't even that great.
No, they didn't have any good songs.
I was gonna. My next question was, can you guess which one song I was gonna say?
I'm not gonna.
Ohio is for lovers.
It doesn't help the argument. I don't know why you have to name it. I would say so. There's a great. Oh fuck! I've got a whole list of bands that I could name. The Appleseed Cast. Have you ever seen the Appleseed Cast?
Mm-mm. Appleseed Cast.
Fantastic emo
As
band.
in like
To
so
me,
is that a play off of like the Apple? No, I was thinking the Apple Dumpling.
No. Appleseed Cast is a little bit more on the indie side. Like,
see, that's where it gets weird. Is between emo and indie too. That's
where I kind of group emo is like where most people will say like Taking Back Sunday or Hawthorne Heights is like on that emo side.
No, I put Taking Back Sunday in like the emo or the indie.
Yeah, I put Taking Back Sunday more in like the rock and roll to indie side.
Yeah.
Of things, and then I'd put Appleseed Cast. Oh shit, I can't think of any other ones now. I got my fucking Spotify right here. And we're gonna have to put.
Was that a fart?
No, that was that was the leather on here.
You should have just said yes.
It should, yeah. I should have just let that one go. Anyways, I'm gonna sit here all day trying to think of the bands, but I would put that in emo. Like there's a pretty particular group.
That's just one band though.
Yeah, I know. I can't think of any other bands right now.
Senses Fail?
Rites of Spring. Senses Fail, I'd put in like the screamo
I wouldn't
kind of area. So, but back to hardcore. So the
early November?
early November, I would say is emo.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. I will go with emo.
The style of hardcore that I like, I would attribute to I call it just Bridge 9 hardcore, like which Bridge 9 is a record label. I'd say like Have Heart, Verse, Defeater, Incendiary is a little bit like that. A little bit more old school, but like stuff that's like more, you'd hear like the political kind of message in it, and it's a little bit more yelling rather than deep growls or screaming.
It's so weird so I just Googled I wrestled a bear once to just because I haven't seen them in years, and so
God,
like
nobody cares.
You're a loser. But he's the only original member that I can think of. It's so weird to see these guys. Anyway, okay.
So that's my 2 cents on music. Those are the bands that if you want to listen to the kind of hardcore music that I am
avant-garde metal?
I don't know.
Avant-garde metal? That's a genre.
That's probably like some weird French metal or something.
It's a subgenre of heavy metal music loosely defined by use of experimentation and innovation. Dude, you know what?
It gets so divided and stuff.
It got so weird with music, man. Like back in the day, it's
still weird.
It is weird. Well, I mean,
now we have like, have you listened to like SoundCloud rappers, like the emo rappers?
Yeah.
It's so cringy.
You had to have face tattoos to do that, though.
Yeah.
That's a prerequisite.
I'm kind of into the face tattoos. I think they kind of look cool.
Yeah, but you can't go back from it.
Like the little eye. I've seen some people with like, not like teardrops. I saw somebody with like a little anchor right here on their eye.
Dig that.
Like that's kind of cool.
I'll dig that. Maybe after I retire.
Or like a little, some people get like a little knife.
Maybe like a unicorn.
Some little brass knuckles. That'd be cool.
Yeah, I could see that. There's like the knife is cutting your eyeball.
Yeah.
Like I
I'd be down for that.
Maybe just a black eye.
Yeah.
Just get a tattoo of
You
of
know,
a black
one
guy.
of the things that Scott was saying was on his podcast, the Hammercast. I'm gonna see how many times I can shout them out.
I can't wait to get my hammer.
He was talking about he quit a job to do what he wanted to do. That was one of the reasons he was the Hammer. And
Nice. I dig it.
he's talking about he's pretty dramatic. I feel like we relate.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm pretty dramatic too.
You are. You're strangely dramatic.
Yeah.
You're subtly dramatic.
Yeah.
It's just weird.
He burned all of his clothes from that job and then got a tattoo on his finger to solidify I'm gonna work for myself. Like I have a tattoo on my hand now. And I'm thinking like, bitch, I've had tattoos on my finger since I was fucking 18. Like as soon as I turned 18, I was like, dude, I already know it's not.
I've been wanting to ask.
Talk about gatekeeping.
This was a question that me and my living had. So you went through the whole apprenticeship of being a tattoo artist.
I went through like I'd say half of the apprenticeship.
Why did you stop?
Oh, okay. Well, because I moved. No, I hadn't moved. That wasn't. I'm sorry.
I mean,
that's a lie.
You obviously, you do all the artwork for the podcast.
Yeah.
You have tattoos.
Uh-huh.
You wear snapbacks.
It's a requirement. So I did maybe like 3 months of an apprenticeship which was mostly a lot of drawing because I already worked at a tattoo shop and I was like, I'm here. I might as well do this. So what did you do? I ended up getting fired from the apprenticeship.
Because you sucked?
No. The tattoo shop that I worked at, it was me or another guy. I was actually thinking about buying the tattoo shop because I had renamed the tattoo shop and like all of this stuff. And there was another guy that was going to buy it. He ended up buying it with a handful of diamonds.
Get the fuck out.
I'm dead serious. He traded it to a guy for a handful of diamonds.
Where did he get a handful of diamonds?
I guess he had it from like jewelry or something. I don't know. He was like that kind of shady motherfucker. And I was like,
ridiculous.
I can't compete with that. He's got like 20 grand worth of diamonds. I have like $5,000.
That's how you buy a casino.
Yeah. And so like,
it's ridiculous.
I guess it's his. And he fired me. As soon as he bought,
you just that guy didn't like you.
Yeah, well, I was the front desk worker, and like he didn't really see a need for me.
So that's what most of the time the women do, the front desk work.
Yeah, I think the tattoo artist knew that was a bad idea.
Yeah,
for them.
Yeah,
so they hired me.
Right on.
Which was and they put me in danger. They put me in harm's way. Yeah, because listen, like being in a tattoo shop, working in a tattoo shop is not a place for a married man.
I'm going to agree with you on that.
Not an easy place for a married man.
So I'm going to give a shout out to my tattoo artist because I know that he has listened to the podcast in the past. In fact, I was sitting at McDonald's in Cabot in line at like 9 a.m. and he drove up next to me holding up traffic. And like it was, one of those situations where you're like, you out of the corner of your eye, you see somebody that's like staring at you. Yeah. And you're like, I don't want to look at this guy. I don't know. And you look over, you're like, oh, okay, thank God, it's somebody I know. Right. That was the situation, right? So I look over and we talk for a bit.
I almost never am relieved because it's somebody that I know.
Somebody I know.
I'm like, oh, God damn it, it's somebody I know.
So my artist is a guy named Stephen Monet, right? So Stephen Monet owns Electric Panther Tattoos in Cabot. And the guy's phenomenal. He did my whole sleeve, you know. So whether you agree or not, I don't really give a fuck. He's really good. So
agree that he's good. Yeah, I thought you just agreed that he did your sleeve. I was like, well, dude, I wasn't there. I guess so.
No. In my opinion, Steven's got some of the best line work in the business. He's got phenomenal line work. He has thick, bold lines. He mostly focuses on neo-traditionals is like his main go-to.
Yeah, that's my favorite style.
Yeah, he is a wizard when it comes to neo-traditional. And what's funny is I came in, and this is a true story. I had a really shitty jellyfish on the outside of my bike, like on my deltoid, like on my shoulder. So I messaged him. I'm like, hey man, I want to finish up my aquatic sleeve. And he goes, all right, cool. Come on in. We'll take a look. And I'm sure you can relate to like you working in a tattoo place. You know, people come in all the time with like the worst fucking tattoos and like, yeah, can you work with this? Yeah. You know, so I go in and it was really shitty and I paid money for it. And I go in and I go, hey man, so I just want to add on, like leave the jellyfish where it's at, add on to that.
And he was like, no.
No, he looks at it and he goes, you ever thought about covering that up? Mm-hmm. So we did. So we went with that. So we covered up with the Kraken and we went from there, But he's a phenomenal artist, really interesting character. In fact, somebody I wouldn't mind even bringing on the podcast. He's fun to talk to.
I've got a couple. I didn't even think about that. I've got a couple tattoo artists that I could bring on here.
And I know he would do it. He would do it in a fucking heartbeat.
Yeah.
And the thing is I saw him. So like,
damn, that's a good idea. I've got all kinds of people like that.
I'm just saying.
Here I am with tunnel vision. We're tunnel vision. Thinking about MMA fighters and shit.
Fuck those guys.
God damn
it.
So
long story short, like he has followed the podcast here and there. I'm sure he doesn't listen to it often. But that day at McDonald's, he was like, man, yeah, your podcast seems like it's coming along really well. And he has his apprentice. So there was a kid named Chance that was apprenticing while I was getting my sleeve. Because it takes about 6 to 8 months to get a sleeve done. Yeah. You're doing a session at a time. And Chance is a fucking amazing artist. If you want to find him on Instagram, it's Chance the Rapper. But that's not it's not really Chance the Rapper.
That makes him really hard to find on Instagram.
I'm just saying, like, it's Chance_the_rapper. He does really good neo-traditional. He does really good. I mean, he's a phenomenal artist as this. But he's like 20 or 21 right now. So I got to see his apprenticeship going through. That's why I was asking about yours. Because, Steven, like, didn't necessarily treat him like shit, but, like, ragged him pretty hard. But, like, the whole time he's just like, hey, why the fuck aren't you drawing right now?
Yeah.
Sweep the shop, mop the floors, go draw some more. Mm-hmm. And then, of course, Steven provided him with... well, it's not gas.
Yeah. It's not gas, like, don't worry about it.
I had heard about guys using, like, pigskin, back in the day.
Yeah, I never did that. I tattooed a little bit on my artist. We've talked about... There's like there's silicone ones now that you can do.
That's what Chance was using.
Yeah.
And Monet was buying all that shit for him. Mm-hmm. So
there's things like cantaloupes too. You can use a cantaloupe.
Like the skin? Or
because like the skin and stuff like that.
And that's to get your depth down? Like how much like your
because you need pressure? Something you need something like that. But yeah, my point that I was making before you went way off topic then had nothing to do with the point that I was making.
Shout out to Electric Panther Tattoos and Steve Monet.
That's $300. But anyways,
Steven went to jail one time.
That's not a place. Dude, being in a tattoo
that's where he learned to fucking tattoo was in jail. By the way.
That's where a lot of them do.
Yeah.
Being in a tattoo shop is not a place for a person who's in a relationship. It really isn't. Like it's so. Oh,
my
it's
tattoo
so bad.
Artist has made that very clear.
Yeah, like women are going in there on a daily basis looking to hook up with a tattoo artist so they can get free tattoos. I'm not kidding. Like
that makes sense.
It is a thing that happens that you have to watch out for.
You know who are unattractive people?
Women that are looking for free tattoos.
Piercers.
Unattractive people?
Yeah. Piercers are usually the most unattractive people in the tattoo shop.
I know some piercers are attractive.
That are not females. I'm talking about males. The male piercers.
Oh, yeah.
Are like the most unattractive people.
Because, Well, so the other thing...
Those who can't tattoo, pierce.
Yeah. I would have been a piercer. The other thing that didn't... I've always been artistic. I've always been very, like, creative, but not a person that draws. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can draw... And if I really focus, I can draw on the good side of mediocre. You know what I'm saying? Like I can draw a decent picture, but and like some of my digital art is okay, but most of it's like I just don't want to spend the time to get good at drawing.
I think your digital art's really good.
And that's why I'm good at it, is because I don't have to spend the time to get good at drawing.
So now
I can just do it.
What's the difference though? Because I paint, I draw, things like that. I've never done the digital art. But I know even my artist, Steven, he has an iPad with the drawing program and he would fucking do all that shit. But like, so what's the difference? I mean, what can you do digitally that you can't do with a pencil?
Here's a pretty easy way to sum it up. Is like there's an app on my iPad in particular. Right, just as far as the iPad goes, because what I do on my computer is completely separate. Mm-hmm. What I do on my computer is not non-vector art. So vector art is basically when you zoom in on an image, when you see the pixels.
Yep.
Okay, vector art doesn't have those pixels.
Straight
No
line.
matter how big you make it or how small you make
Smooth.
it will always be smooth because
Okay.
it's a mathematical equation that makes it smooth. Pixel art, so a lot of the pixel stuff you can only do on or on the iPad. You can pretty much only do pixel stuff on an app called Procreate. But anyways, it's still so detailed that it's.
Did you say Procreate?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Go on.
It's still so good that it's like you can still use it pretty efficiently to do like really good digital art. But the easiest way to do it, so like I have a picture.
What's the timestamp on the episode right now?
Hour and 20 minutes.
Okay, well, because I'm gonna.
Are you trying to get a promotion or
Well, I'm gonna tag
sponsorship from
Steven.
Procreate?
I'm gonna tag Monet. I'm gonna tag Monet in this, and he's not gonna listen to the whole episode. So I'm gonna be like, "Hey, man, fast forward about hour 10."
Oh, I guarantee he knows what Procreate is. Yeah, he's on there for sure.
Oh no, I'm just gonna say.
That
anyway,
we're talking
go ahead,
about
go
it.
ahead.
Yeah. Anyways, so yeah, because you shot him out and stuff.
Yeah, shut up.
Anyways,
That means you should finish my tattoo for free.
mine too. All of my unfinished tattoos. So, but basically, like this is a perfect example. Is that I had a picture of my dog. I took a picture out in the backyard with my phone. Then I transferred it to my iPad, just like airdropped it to my iPad. Opened it up in Procreate, and then I took the pins and I like reduced the transparency to make it like where you could kind of see through the picture.
Just like the black and whites, like the.
No, like it was all the same. It was just the picture was a little bit more see through.
So you get the lines out of it.
Right. So then I drew all the lines, and all I did was trace, and then I painted in the same colors that were already there from the picture. Like I even matched them. The app does it itself, and then I just colored it in, and then I take you take the picture out, and it works in layers, so you can literally like you draw one thing, and then you can go back and draw something underneath that, so that the one layer covers up another layer, so that you can put things on top of each other. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And like it's stupid fucking easy. That's all I did is I literally traced the whole thing, and I made like a painting that is good enough for me to hang up and call mine, because technically I painted it. I took the picture, I painted it on Procreate, all of it. And I literally just colored. It's like coloring by numbers. You know what I'm saying? So like that kind of stuff, the digital art makes it so much easier.
And the reason I ask is because one of my buddies back home, so I have this tattoo on my rib cage, right? And so
Banksy.
That's not Banksy.
That's not Banksy?
That's Jason Byron Nelson.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's funny you say
it's
that.
It's a Banksy style.
Stylistically, right? But Jason was doing this before anybody had ever heard of Banksy.
Yeah.
Right? So he had to start similarly to Banksy because there's like a whole artistic movement. So I got Jason was doing this stuff in Louisiana probably circa 2000. It was between 2004, 2006, right? Banksy didn't come out and become famous and well known and probably until like 2008, 2009.
Have you seen his documentary Exit Through the Gift Shop?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So that documentary came out after I moved to Arkansas.
Okay, he was famous before that though.
I agree.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm not retarded.
Oh, okay. I was just making sure. Yeah.
You're like, he was an artist before that.
Right.
No, but my point is I want to give credit to Jason because
right.
Jason was
for
doing
that art.
Yeah, Jason. This was pre-internet stuff. This is pre-Google. This is before Banksy got big.
Right.
Right. Jason was not copying.
It's stencil art. Yeah.
It's stencil art, right? And so Jason moved into the digital format and started doing a lot of. He had he's still a gallery artist now. Again, Jason Byron Nelson. He's out of Monroe. Louisiana.
Most of the stencil art starts off digital.
Yeah.
Because they then like take the shadows out of it and so on and so forth. We'll add this, that, and the other to it, and then come out with that product.
And I was trying to find.
I've done some stencil graffiti before.
So yeah, and I was having here we go. Yeah, this is good. So that's like digital art.
Yeah.
That's like a digital version that he did.
Mm-hmm.
The weirdest part about having this tattoo, is that I was registering. So
people think you have ringworm.
Every time.
Yeah. I kind of thought it whenever we competed. I was like, what is that?
I knew you did. Everybody does. Everybody thinks that the butterfly is like a
I'd made sense of it pretty quickly, but like when I first saw it.
And that's when you're like, you know what? One day me and this guy are going to start a podcast.
Yeah. Together. We're going to talk about how gay we want to be together. I think I saw it like through your gi, and I was like,
yeah.
Anytime you see a red mark on somebody, you're like, what the fuck
you
is
freak
that?
out. Yeah, no, and you're right because the butterflies. So if you guys are wondering what I'm talking about, it's called flowers.
Mitch literally has butterflies on his tummy.
I do. So go look up Jason Byron Nelson, Flowers in the Attic, and you will see the tattoo that I have that starts at my rib cage and goes to my sternum. Right. So it's the Flowers in the Attic. So Jason Byron Nelson, Flowers in the Attic. Anyway, I was registering my daughter for kindergarten, right? And so Monroe is a small town. It's a small town in Louisiana. Like nobody knows anything about that, whatever. So I'm registering my daughter for kindergarten. I look over and there's just some random guy in the school board office, whatever, that has that tattoo on his forearm.
Yeah.
Right?
I've seen that tattoo on people.
Yeah.
It's popular.
Super weird for me.
Mm-hmm.
Because that guy did like band art for my band.
Yeah.
Like, we were really close. And so we would do like shows where he would have like a gallery and then my band would play at the gallery. So he could like show off his artwork and then we worked together really well as an artist. Monroe has a really good art scene, very well art scene. But yeah, so I walked up and I was like, hey man, I like that tattoo. And he was like, oh yeah, I saw it, whatever. And so I looked up my shirt and I was like, I have the same one. And he was like, oh, that's cool. I was like, but I know the guy who did this. It's super weird.
Don't be that guy.
Okay.
Come on.
Look. Maybe when I started talking, it came out the wrong way.
Yeah.
What I meant was, it's still very strange to me.
Yeah, I understand.
Because Jason's just like, to me, he's like you. Like, it's just Jonny. It's just Jonny.
Let me ask you, okay, this is kind of a weird question. Have you ever given out an autograph? Have you ever had somebody ask you for an autograph?
Once.
I've had quite a few.
What?
Yeah.
For what?
It's really uncomfortable. For playing music. When I was playing music, I actually got it.
One time was for playing music.
Yeah, I actually got it a lot when I played music.
I was a bass player, so nobody ever really cared about mine.
Yeah, I was a bass player too, but
it's one of our best friends.
I've always been a bass player that stole the show though. I've always been,
It's easy to
I'm
steal
Jonny
the show as a
goddamn
bass
Wester.
player.
Come on,
Fuck
look
you,
at me.
Jonny Wester.
Anyways, when I was an MMA fighter, it happened a lot too. And then since I've been like a coach / BJJ competitor, whatever, former MMA fighter, I've had like students ask me and weird stuff like
Your
that.
own students? Have asked you for
Yeah, like kids, not like adults, like kids.
Oh, okay.
And stuff like that. It's rarely has it been adults,
What I like to do,
but it's always weird.
so on that same topic. So one,
Nobody's asked me because of the podcast yet.
let it play out.
Mm-hmm.
So coolest gift ever, and it's a shout out to my buddy Joey.
Oh yeah, that picture that he gave you, that is really cool. Yeah.
So I was in a band called the Vadreens. The Vadreens are still active.
The
to this day.
Vadrinas?
The Vadreens are still active to this day. Great band. One of my favorite bands that I was ever a part of. We toured a lot and had a lot of fun. But we did a show that Joey happened to come to.
Yeah.
I totally forgot about this. I totally forgot about the whole thing. And one day he texted me and he was like, hey man, when you come down for you were there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was the one we did together.
Yeah.
He's like, you're either going to love this or you're going to hate it.
We do seminars together, by the way.
That one time.
Yep.
And I would like to do more.
We're going
to. And he gave it to me. And it was like, it was one of my old show posters. Yeah. That we had all signed. Because he came up and was like, hey man, you guys should all sign this.
Oh yeah.
And I think I wrote hell yeah. And then signed my name. Because I was the fucking bass player. Like that.
Yeah.
The best thing about being the bass player is that you can suck at everything and then be a complete belligerent idiot.
Talk about riding on coattails. That's what a bass player does.
That's all that we did.
Yeah.
We used to play at this show called Artmosphere, or this venue called Artmosphere in Lafayette. I spent 20 minutes. So okay, let me set this up. So
oh God, you don't have to set it up.
Shut up. So I have to set it up. Just a hair. So where the stage was, outside of the venue was a patio.
Yeah.
But the stage was set up, higher than the patio.
Okay.
So if you sat, and there was a window right next to the stage. So if you and your wife or girlfriend or whatever sat at the table that was next to the stage, your head was eye level with my knees,
Mm-hmm.
right? That's a very important detail because Artmosphere, for their bands, they would give you 3 little movie tickets, these little like raffle tickets. You could either use those 3 tickets to buy food, alcohol, or any combination of the 3. I bought 3 Long Island iced teas.
You only listed 2 things: food or alcohol.
And then a combination.
Of the 3?
Yeah, so you get like nachos and 2 Long Islands.
Oh,
Or you could-
okay,
you know what I'm saying?
okay.
Yeah.
Of the 3 tickets you
Of the
had.
3, yeah,
okay,
yeah.
okay.
So I just said, what's the one drink that I could drink that would give me the drunkest?
Oh, yeah,
the
an
fastest?
LIT for sure.
LIT all day
Yeah.
long, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Long Island all day. So I got 3 Long iced teas. I drank them super fast. And then there was this poor couple that was eating dinner on the patio. I'm playing in the band. And then I proceed for an entire song. It was like a 6-minute song. I just humped the window. Like, and it sucked because like the guy looked at me and he was like, oh, hey man, okay.
And then you just kept going.
And I kept going. So I took it. It was funny, uncomfortable. We're leaving.
Yeah.
Like I took it all 6 minutes.
I
Right?
have a feeling that I don't want to be around you whenever you're really drunk.
I feel like that's exactly where you should be.
Yeah, I feel like I'm gonna spot you over in a corner and I'm just like, oh god damn it.
No, you're gonna go. What are we gonna get into?
Yeah, that's not my friend.
You're the worst.
No. So I had
This
a
was
story.
years ago.
I had a story to interrupt you with of a really interesting
Should've tried
one
harder.
that was good, but I don't remember what it was. One of the times that we were in Brazil, well, this last time that I was in Brazil.
Let me stop you right there.
Okay, good. Like the last day, right? We like go out to party. Like the whole reason we're there is to train. So we do like this whole training camp of like a week long where we're doing 2-a-days. And it's not like 2-a-days that you would do at your normal gym because you have 20 people with you that are all traveling together. So you leave the hotel in the morning, go train, and then you all go to lunch, which is a 3-hour affair because there's 20 people with you and everybody's trying to get their shit in order. And then by the time you're done with lunch, it's time to go train again. So it's like a week of that. And then by Friday hits, you're like, tomorrow we're going to the beach. Tonight we're getting fucked up.
We're gonna bury Daniel in the sand.
Oh, that was the first
drown
time.
him.
That was the first time. Daniel wasn't there the second time. So we go to this bar, and I can only assume that the shots that they gave me was gasoline. And one of my best friends in the whole wide world, Danilo. I never thought it was the weirdest thing. Like I like pretty obscure music. You know what I'm saying? Like Danilo is from a whole nother country, raised completely differently. I brought him to first I went there, we hung out, we became friends just from talking, and like we didn't really know much about each other. And I said, I want to bring you to America and so you can teach jiu-jitsu. So I bring him to America, and it turns out like we legitimately like all the same music. Like he knows bands that I know. And
In
he's
Brazil.
like, yeah. He's
That's
like, dude, I love this band. And I'm like, dude, I personally know this band. And like things like that. And I'm just like, this is fucking weird, right? Like, so anyways, he takes me out. As soon as we walk in, like he's trying to get me laid. He's like, hey bro, that girl likes you. And I was like, we haven't even walked into the building yet. You know, like you haven't talked to her.
That's awesome.
How do you there's no way for you to know that, right? So like, and then like I had a girlfriend, so I was like turning girls. And I was like, no, dude, I'm good. Yeah, I was like, you know, like I'm gonna have fun. I'm gonna flirt with girls and have a good time, but I'm not gonna do anything.
With Jesus.
Yeah. And so he took that as like, oh, well, I guess he doesn't like girls. So he brings. I'm not kidding, dude. He brings a guy over and goes, hey man, this is my friend. I was like, oh hey, what's up?
He likes you.
And he goes, he said that he goes, bro, he likes you. And I was like, shut up, dude. And he goes, he's gay, man. And I was like, ha, ha, ha. And the guy's like, no, I am. You know, and I was like, I'm not. And Danilo's like, it's okay, man. Jiu-jitsu for everybody. Yeah. I was like, what a fucking bro, dude. Like, he's trying to get me laid so hard he's like,
I don't give a fuck.
You don't like the girls?
Somebody.
All right, I'll go grab a guy.
Yep.
Totally cool, bro.
Look, this is my golden retriever.
Yeah.
Like,
and so he just didn't understand that I was in a relationship and I was waiting to bring him to America.
I feel like most of that was your fault.
So that we could break up while he was here.
Yeah. So
and then make the whole vacation weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
is that what happened?
Yeah. Yeah. So
you brought him. So you brought him to America and then broke up with your girlfriend.
well, no, I didn't. We like broke up mutually, and like he was like we were living together. He was like living in our spare bedroom, and like, dude, Danilo, like I love that dude because he was right there with me the whole time. Yeah, he's Gracie Baja.
That's what I thought.
And so like halfway through it, just shit blew up with my girlfriend, and she was like, "I don't want to be in this relationship anymore," and I was like, "I don't either."
And I was somebody said something.
Yeah, and I was like, "Hey, like, can we fucking keep it cool? Because I have a visitor from another country." She was like, "Yeah, totally." For the most part, we kept it cool, and she didn't physically abuse me until after he left.
Is that what Lizzie was talking?
Yeah. It's so, but my point was, I was telling the story about us drinking in Brazil.
I want to know how she physically abused you.
It's not all that crazy. We got in a big fight because she wouldn't do what she promised me to do, and then
Have sex with you?
no, she's gonna get my dog his shots. And
Wait. This is turning out to be an incredible story. So wait,
it's not that incredible. Okay,
no.
It's only incredible because you're getting bits and pieces of it. Here's what happened: we broke up. We still lived together, right? Because like, I wasn't just gonna put this person homeless on the streets.
Okay.
And it was my house, so I wasn't gonna just like kick her out, you know.
Yeah, you're
So
the
it's
man.
like, okay, like figure out what you got to do. But this relationship is over, and we agreed on that. And I was like, don't make a big fucking scene out of it. Because I got people here, got shit going on.
I got an exchange student here.
Yeah, he ended up, he left around the time of my birthday. So I'm like depressed. By the way, I got my black belt on my birthday.
Congratulations.
So all of this hits at once, right? Oh, no, I'm sorry. I got my black belt the year after.
Yeah.
So I break up with my girlfriend and he leaves around the same time. I turned 30. That's what it was. I turned 30 that birthday.
Going back to the beginning of the episode.
Yeah.
You're definitely slightly to the left on the scale in comparison to me.
Of what? Of feminine? Yeah. So I felt...
It's my birthday.
Dude.
I don't have no friends.
Oh, well, it's my 30th birthday. That's a big deal.
Big one.
Yeah.
30. Dirty
That's
30.
like, dude, you're old now. You're like
30,
a fucking adult. You're not 20 anymore.
You're 100%.
And so I was falling apart, man. I was losing it. And we broke up. Told her not to make a big deal out of it. Then she was like, I still want, like we have this dog that we raised together. I still want to like when you go out of town, I want to take care of him when I can and do that stuff. Like
that. Yeah,
we're going to try and be friends and work this out. So she worked
I
at
have real kids.
Yeah. That you've
So
done
I
that
can
with.
understand.
Right. So she worked at a veterinary hospital and I was like, and she was like, well, I'll take him to go get his shots. It's like in a week. And, he was already scheduled to get it done. I'll go get it done. The day before, right? She messaged me and was like, I don't want to do that. And then she comes over and she's like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. I want to take care of him. It's not my dog. And we're not in a relationship, so it's not my responsibility. I was like, oh.
Somebody told her that.
Yeah, and I think also that she probably had plans. Like she was probably on Tinder and like had some kind of plan or something.
Sure.
And so I was like, I told her I was like, you didn't, like you promised me something and you're a shitty person for not pulling through. Now I've got to scramble to make plans, make this work. And so then she continued to like punch me. Like we got like.
No, she didn't continue. She proceeded.
Proceeded to punch me. Excuse me.
Did she punch you in the mouth or what?
No, like, I mean, like I like put my hands up over my face because I'm a professional MMA fighter.
You know what's up.
And she just kind of whacked me in the head a couple times with a closed fist. It wasn't, and she knows how to kickbox too, so it wasn't like a 2 to the face, She was like, "Fuck you, you motherfucker."
So because you calmly said,
"No, I didn't." Of course, it wasn't calm. Are you kidding me?
Did you call her a bitch?
No, I wasn't like, "Well, you promised me not to, or you promised me to do this, and you didn't pull through with it."
And then she went nuts.
Yeah, I would. No, I didn't react that way.
Bitch.
No, I didn't say that. Come on. I might have said see you next Tuesday, but I didn't say.
You realize that's worse than BITCH, right?
I don't think that it is. The see you next Tuesday?
Okay.
I think that it hits home bigger.
Okay. I'm gonna tell you right now.
But listen, like
I'm the father of 5 daughters, and I have a live-in. I'm here to tell you, you call a girl, see you next Tuesday.
what's worse, being called a live-in or a see you next Tuesday?
Don't do that to me. This isn't about me. This is about you right now.
Well, listen, I'm an emotional guy. She was an emotional woman.
See you next Tuesday is that's like next level. That's next level.
Here's the problem, and I understand it now. Okay.
I'm glad you've grown since then.
The problem is that I've only, up until Bop, I've only lived with Latinas. That's the issue.
You know, I'm gonna be honest with you right now.
It's dangerous.
It's super dangerous.
There's something about listen, I think that all
Latinas and Cajuns, I'm here to tell you,
I think that all people are equally shitty.
I love them both.
And I love all women of all ethnicities. Mostly Latinas because they're violent towards me. But
it's because they care so much.
But god damn it. All of them are physically abusive. What is with that?
A big part of it.
There's no big part of it. There's no you can't give me a solution.
Most Latinas have 7 Latino brothers.
That beat the shit out of them? I don't think that's what happened.
They fight for the taco. I'm just telling you, like, there's a lot of, like, in Latina.
I know right now that Lizzie's on the other side of that door, like, shaking that she wants to jump in here with some comment on this. But she can't because she doesn't want to be on the podcast.
We offered. She had all kinds of stuff to say earlier.
Yeah, she had all she did was tell us she didn't want to be on the podcast, and then stood in the doorway for 45 minutes talking about the podcast.
Yes, dude, we got a third microphone. I love having Lizzie on the podcast.
But you know what? Sometimes people just somebody had mentioned it. They enjoy just hearing us sometimes. And I think that's kind of neat. You know what I'm saying? We don't always need somebody. Because we introduced
Lizzie this episode. This is one of those episodes.
What, where we're just talking?
We're just fucking off.
Well, obviously, yeah.
Yeah, but I think this is one of those episodes where people are going to appreciate that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, how can you not?
How can you not? I mean, Jesus Christ. Between Bud Light Lime and Evan Williams whiskey, get out of here.
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of here.
I'm kind of tipsy.
Get out of here.
I'm not going to lie. 2 shots and a couple beers, and that'll get me there.
Get out of
here. The point is, I don't think why the fuck why did we even start talking about my ex-girlfriend? That's not where I wanted to go with this episode.
Here's why we talked about it, because I've known you for about 3 or 4 years. I've known you longer, but we've only been friends for probably 2 or 3 years.
Yeah.
Okay? And I've only heard that you were physically abused by a female. And so I wanted to know what the story was.
Here's the deal. I don't like talking about relationships, even my current ones, because I'm a almost 33-year-old male that's never been married and I've been in a few relationships. You know what I'm saying?
You have. I've never known you in the years I've known you. I've never known you not to have a girlfriend.
Well, there've been times.
But I've never known you.
Right. Well, kind of a slut. And whenever I don't have a girlfriend, I make sure I make up for lost time. You know what I'm saying?
Like super fights.
Yeah.
Like
not talking about that, but super something. Super slutty time. But the point is, like, I don't know what the point was.
I don't either.
Fuck. I don't know. I really don't know. Here's something to bring down the episode, though. Is the last time.
This guy.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So I don't know if you know this, but I've always I don't enjoy talking about this, but I've had depression my whole life since I was a kid.
I could see that, but you handle it well.
Yeah, well, I've learned to handle it well. Mm-hmm. I haven't always. Like when I was a kid, I was that like typical kid with behavioral problems.
Sure.
That act out because they don't know how to handle all of those emotions. This is how we should time episodes. We should do we should go until we're finished with whatever alcohol we bring.
Whatever we have.
Yeah.
And then that's the end of the episode.
That's a good idea.
And then we ended up with, ladies and gentlemen, we've now finished the 6-pack or 12-pack of
Bud Light Limes.
Bud Light Limes.
Yep. That's a good
anybody who's interested in a vegan diet or, going organic, this is where it's at. The ingredients are on the box.
Yeah, it's all organic.
It was all
stuff.
organic.
It's not good, but it's all organic.
What do you mean it's not good? It's delicious.
It's there.
Ooh,
So anyways,
you hear that? Deliciousness.
Back to the serious note. So do you have any tattoos that mean something specific to you?
Mm-hmm.
Is that how you do all of your tattoos?
So that's a great question. And
yeah.
That's a really awesome question, actually. So the only tattoo that I have, the only 2 tattoos that I have that don't mean shit is the one on my wrist, which is
2 + 2 = 3,
which is mathematically not true.
Right.
So 2 + 2 = that was me.
It's funny that you brought that up because I actually looked at that like a minute ago and was like, does that really say that?
That happens a lot of times.
Loser. Okay.
So for me, I just thought it was funny.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, and then people kept asking me about it. And I got to the point where I was like, well, you know what, bro? I turned it into, I made it something more, right? So I was like, well, you know what? The only reason you think that 2 + 2 = 4 is because somebody in authority told you that.
Yeah, it sounds stupid.
It was dumb. But the reality is I got 2 + 2 = 3 because it was hilarious. And then I have a koi fish in red ink on my calf. I wouldn't say
hilarious, but it's funny. Okay, go ahead. It's funny that you would do that to your body, but
words. So I have another tattoo on my calf, which is my first tattoo that I ever got. I paid $250, overpriced. The guy totally took advantage of me. However, the ones that mean something to me. So I have Anima and Animus on my back. That is an homage to a friend of mine who ended up passing away. He dealt with depression a lot. He didn't kill himself, but he dealt with depression a lot. He ended up getting kicked out of the military, which is where we met, for bipolar disorder. And ended up, his mom called me because he had taken his medication that was causing him to have vomiting, and he ended up passing out and choking on his vomit. That's how he died, right? I know it's pretty detailed, but a lot of us who knew him really well, we kind of looked at it like we don't think it was an accident. You know what I mean? So he had Anima. He was a big fan of Carl Jung and sacred geometry. And so he had Anima and Animus tattooed in the same spot that I have it. So I went and got that.
You got in Memorial.
In Memorial. Yep. And then with my sleeve, which is fully aquatic, a big part of that
is Air Force, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I have an aquatic tattoo because of all my time in the air. It's because I have
over the ocean.
Right. I have a deep-seated fear of water that I can't see the bottom of.
I do too. Yeah, dude, the ocean terrifies me.
It terrifies me.
I love it. I want to play. I love playing in the waves when I'm up to my waist.
Yes. No, you and I are on the same page.
Yeah.
We're 100% on the same page. And, I mean, think about it. Like, jellyfish, fucking kraken, like, these are animals that look beautiful in the water, but will fuck you
Kraken
up.
aren't real.
Well, kraken, they're octopi.
An octopus. That's a real thing.
Yeah. And then it's Latin for kraken.
Okay.
Did I make that up?
Well, we're not speaking Latin.
I don't know. It's on a bottle of whiskey. But yeah, so my aquatic tattoos were because
based on your fear.
I have a fear of, and it's also slightly related to jiu-jitsu because I think jiu-jitsu is very like the animals in the ocean, your jellyfish, your octopus, your all those, like that kind of encompasses your average jiu-jitsu player.
Yeah, I think people in general want to attach ideas to animals really badly.
Spirit animals, yeah.
So mine, I don't necessarily. I've never gotten like a real bulk amount of tattoos at once. Like I've never sat down and gotten a sleeve. It's been like, I worked in the tattoo shop, so most of it's like, hey, I got a couple hours. Do you want to sit down and I'll do this until somebody walks in or whatever? And like a lot of it's been kind of random. So I've attached the meaning to them based on the time period that I got most of my tattoos.
Okay.
I'm glad that you asked what they were because I'll go through them right now.
Well, the only ones I've ever seen are the ones on your knuckles.
Yeah, I have Let's Rock on my knuckles. That was when I was like, I think I was actually 19. I was actively looking for something to get tattooed on my knuckles. I wanted something on my knuckles. And
where did you get the idea for that?
I'm glad you asked. My friend had a MXPX poster.
I love MXPX.
You remember the Let's Rock album? That's where I got it from. I was looking for something for a long time, and then when I was a kid, I really loved that album. And all of a sudden, I saw my friend with that poster, and I was like, "Oh my god, that's it! That's what I'm gonna get."
Dude, that's Slowly Moving the Way of the Buffalo. Great album. Great. I'm okay. You're okay.
Yeah,
it's a great album.
So that's what I ended up getting, and then the Steadfast on my wrist. I got those whenever after I won my first professional MMA
It's
fight.
the first time I've ever figured out what that said.
Yeah, it looks like Headfast because the S and the T run together, but it says Steadfast.
I like it.
I knocked out Dave Burrows
Nailed it.
with a flying knee in my first professional MMA
Is that
fight.
on your highlight video?
It is.
Yeah.
And then I gorilla stomped the cage and jumped up on the side of it.
Saw that.
Anyways, my coach had texted me and said something about, you know what, like, out of everything that I'm most impressed about by your process to get here, it's been your steadfastness. Just your ability to just like you saw what you wanted to do and you went there. And so I was like, you know what, I'm going to do that, and got that tattooed to remind myself of that time. Straight edge stuff was to remind me, of course, of the straight edge.
So obviously you don't regret the straight edge tattoos.
No.
Because it was and I asked that question.
It's a phase in my life.
Because I have.
Oh yeah. The Gracie.
So tattoo. I have the Gracie triangle on my inner bicep, and it was my original gym, Gracie Jitsu of West Monroe. It was the original. It's now Chrome Gracie Jiu-Jitsu. And a lot of people have asked me, like, well, man, like, you're not with them anymore. Like, what are you gonna do about that?
Your jiu-jitsu is still.
It's always part of your lineage.
Yeah, you can't get rid of that.
Yeah.
It's a lot like.
I told people.
Yeah,
like, I'm not gonna cover it up. That was 8 years of my life.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's a huge part of my story.
Let's like put it into this perspective. You're born in the United States. You live there for 8 years, and then you move to India or wherever. That the United States, because that was such a crucial part of your upbringing, your accent, your language, your behaviors, they're always going to be just a little bit different than everybody else's, no matter how much you try to integrate yourself with that. And it's a little bit, it's not quite the same, but it's a little bit like that. Like,
the point hits home.
Your jiu-jitsu will always reflect that, because the first 8 years, the first jiu-jitsu that you ever saw and knew was from that. And so like, you can't, it's, like,
no, I would never change it. I would never cover it up. I will never, and
the funny thing to me about people regretting tattoos is like, you got that tattoo and everybody says like, well, I got this tattoo for me, not for you to see. Well, if it was for me to see, or if it wasn't for me to see,
I wouldn't be able to see.
Then you wouldn't regret it. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
because you got that at a certain point of your life, unless you regret that time in your life.
Like when people get like the wedding rings
or not even
initials,
that, dude. Like that, I guess maybe like if you regret that marriage, but like you can be married and not regret marrying that person.
Right.
And like, just like I've been in relationships and I don't necessarily regret being in that relationship. I just realized that wasn't the person for me, or we didn't work together. The circumstances didn't work. Right. And so live in La Vida Loca. But the thing that's always surprised me is how many people claim to regret tattoos. It's like, unless it's something like, I've seen people with like swastikas tattooed on their neck, right? And it's like,
even still.
No, even still. And we used to have our tattoo artist at the shop that I worked at the time. And I think he's changed his policy, but at the time he was like, no, if you're brave enough to get it, then you're brave enough to live with it.
Absolutely.
But at the same time, people make mistakes. People are young. People change their ideas. And I think since then he's adopted that idea and be like, you know what? I'll help you change your life. Because it's, like I've been in situations where I not necessarily have made such extreme decisions, but to where I'm just like, I've done stupid things that I regret and that I wouldn't want plastered on my body that I did,
When I did my sleeve, when I went and got 2 + 2 = 3 on my wrist. That wasn't me.
Is that you again?
Yeah.
Dude, can I just say that these podcasts now just fall out of me? I don't even like...
They've always been that way.
Well, no.
Except for the one that we did in December.
We've had to force like the first little bit.
I never forced.
I used to say a lot. You used to say there's a lot of like little nuances that there was one that you used to say. I can't remember what it was.
Here's the thing.
Yeah. No, that's your segment.
That's my segment.
We're gonna do. Here's the thing
really
with Mitch.
My gears.
Yeah. I can just talk now and like things just come out. I'm like, whoa. Yeah, I don't even. Sometimes I'll even
just
like
two bros just hanging out.
Two bros. We're
bros.
Just hanging out, broing out. Do we even have? We're like 2 hours in. We're not even done with this.
Who gives a fuck? I don't give a fuck. We still got. We have 3 Bud Light Limes left before this interview's over.
We ought to start doing phone calls. People, there's an app. No, there's an app that we can have people call and leave voicemails.
Yeah,
then we can
Theo
take
Von
that voicemail.
That. Yeah, Theo Von does that.
When we get our Roadmaster Mic Pro Super Deluxe, that'll make things easier.
Yeah. I just leave everything up to you.
Well,
so Jonny runs things financially. Jonny runs things by me, and then I go, I'm not opposed to that.
This is also how I run my business.
Yeah,
how me and Danny run the business. So here's something that I was thinking about.
It's not my fault that we have almost all the same ideas.
I've had a lot of time to drive lately. The 2 things that I've been doing lately. Here's been my
and thinking.
Driving, thinking, 3 things. And playing Metal Gear Solid: The Phantom Pain. And let me tell you, when I'm playing Metal Gear Solid, I become Snake. You know what I'm saying?
You are Snake.
I am one with him. I've been playing a fuck ton of that game, and I lose track of time. Anyways, on my travels back and forth
between here and Jacksonville and Conway, I've been thinking a lot about
all of this, right?
The entity.
I'm trying to remember what I was trying.
I know where you were going.
That's the reason I'm trying to. I'm starting to get drunk and I'm starting to forget what point I'm trying to make. Something about for my birthday, by the way. Lizzie's already said we're gonna go to Crescent Hotel. This is what.
When's your birthday?
March 24th. So I expect birthday presents, everybody.
I have a baby that's gonna be born around that time. But how hard can a 3-week-old be?
Right, priorities. That's all I'm saying.
I think I'm there. I'm there.
All right,
nailed it.
She can come too. Are you having a boy or a girl?
Girl.
Oh yeah, we said that.
Yeah, I don't have anything with girls.
Okay, she can come too. Your wife can come too.
I don't have a wife.
Your living can come too.
There you go. Chances are it's probably just gonna be me, you, and Lizzie.
That's fine too.
That's how 3.
That'll be a weird night, but whatever. Man, I had a really good place that I was going there. I had something I've been thinking about. And
you were talking about how you've been driving a lot, and then you've been listening to a lot.
I've been listening to music.
Yep.
I've been thinking about things.
Okay.
And I don't remember what I was thinking about. God damn it.
I was super excited about it too. That's not the trash can.
I'm going... Motherfucker.
Get it. Find it.
I can't get it out. I don't know where it is.
Go inside yourself.
We're going to Worlds this year.
Yep.
That's going to happen.
Now, which Worlds are you referring to?
Masters Worlds.
Okay. We're on the same
That's
page.
what we're talking about, right?
Yep.
I weighed myself the other day. I weigh 190 pounds. So it looks like I'm competing at middle heavy.
No. So I weighed myself on your scale, and I was 197.
Whoa.
Uncharacteristically.
Beefy.
I'm a little beefy. I hold a lot of water in my abdomen.
I don't hold water anywhere. I'm just been lazy.
Yeah, but you're like 6'4".
Okay, hold on. I almost had it. I was playing video games. Playing a lot of Metal Gear Solid.
Yep.
That's what you're talking about.
You're basically Snake.
I've been thinking, driving,
okay,
listening to music.
Yep.
I want to start a Tinder account for my gym. That's what I was thinking. That's one of the things I was thinking about. I want to start a Tinder account for my gym.
So your gym is going to date people?
No. Think about it.
I'm trying.
We're going to have male or female, obviously. It's a marketing scheme.
Was that a question?
No, it's a marketing scheme is what it is. It's not like I'm not trying to date people.
Oh, wait.
Imagine me trying to pitch this to my girlfriend. Babe, listen.
That's how you get timeshares.
No. 2 a.m. I notice you're online scamming for pussy or dick, whichever.
Either
and
way.
I'm like, I'm just gonna message, be like, hey,
DM. You're gonna drop that DM.
Quit looking for that dick and start looking for a better bod. 2020, new year, new you.
2020 is about accepting the dick that you have.
How are you gonna be slaying pussy with that dad bod?
Listen here.
Come in and get in shape with me at Gravitas.
All the push-ups in the world ain't gonna make that dick grow.
See, I pitched it to Lizzie, and she thinks it's too much of a scam.
So that means you're gonna pitch it to your second best friend,
right? Well, I was pitching it to the world. Really, I wanted validation through the rest of the world.
You should know by now that throughout most of our conversations, 90% of the time when you say something to me, I go, let's do it.
Yeah. Well, I pitched it to my class too. My students, they all agreed. And they were like, dude, that's fucking brilliant. It really is like, that's a genius marketing strategy in your head.
Hilariously,
it's like communism. It works on paper.
First of all, it's nothing like communism.
Well, it doesn't work like communism.
Communism.
I mean that it is like communism in that it only works on paper. When you read it, it's like that makes sense, but then when you apply it, it doesn't make sense.
I'm so glad you explained that because
that's how communism is, right?
Up until that point, your comment made 0 sense.
But now it makes 100% sense.
Now, I bring Tinder up on your phone.
I didn't download it. You realize what kind of landmine that would be sitting on my phone?
Oh my God.
Could you imagine?
Who hasn't been there?
Hey babe, can I see your phone? No.
Nope.
No.
Nope. And by the way, I have a fingerprint.
Yeah.
25 character password on my phone.
You know, I have a copy of the Communist Manifesto in paperback form.
Really?
Isn't that weird?
Is it good?
No, I mean it's
Who
about
wrote it?
Karl Marx.
Was it good? What? Okay, hold on. Let me burp for a second.
Okay.
I had chili for lunch. Here's the thing
with Mitchell.
So, for those of you out there listening who don't know, I am earning my way toward an interdisciplinary degree.
I don't know what that is.
I'm going to explain.
Okay. Oh, thank God.
So, Euler, Trojans, has a degree called an interdisciplinary studies degree. So you get, for me, it's sociology, psychology, and management. I've done a lot of sociology classes. Karl Marx's version of Marxism was not that bad. We fucked it up.
I think
Marxism was very simple. Karl Marx said that the worker is the backbone to a society, which is true.
Yes.
Because the idea is that
we need to take another shot for communism.
Yeah, go ahead. The idea was that people have the wrong idea about communism.
What's funny is like 30 years.
Who ruined communism? North Korea. They ruined communism.
30 years ago, we would have been arrested for having this conversation. Exactly. You would have been fired from your job. We'd be arrested.
Karl Marx's whole thing is that in a socialistic society, the worker should have the primary say-so. Because if the worker struck, then the CEOs and everything shuts down. Everything shuts down. That was what he was saying.
The foundation.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I think it's important that people know that, because what you said sounded very Hitlerist.
Well, all I was stating was that I have a copy of the Communist Manifesto. You know, that's all you said. That's all you said. I heard a whole different thing in my head. Yeah. You have, you know that I like collecting weird books. I have the book.
You have the book that we never brought up again.
It's somewhere deep.
That was a big ass book
in that,
too.
Dude. It's a collection of like 4 or 5 different books.
That's the cult book, right?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
But I love like there's this bookshop in Tulsa.
Yeah,
it's
remember it had something to
amazing.
do with Oklahoma.
And it's fucking amazing. It's like just all used books, and I love just like having old weird books like that. It's really interesting to me.
I agree. I'm the same.
I have a
with you.
whole library of them, and I have a bunch of like. I'm obsessed, of course, with boxing and fighting.
Yeah, here's the
books.
communism.
Here's the communism. Beep. Oh, it doesn't hurt so bad anymore.
It knocked your earphone out.
This isn't good. Yeah, it's falling out my ears now.
This is like that wedding all over again.
Yeah. This is not like that wedding. I talked to my buddy the other day, and he's like, "Bro, I've never seen you." This is the person that I got drunk with. The old house that I lived at, we had a swimming pool, a swimming club that was right down the road. You remember whenever you drive down that curve?
That's not a swimming club.
Pool?
That was the
Briarwood swimming pool.
A park. That was like
Yeah, so there's a park and then the swimming pool across the street. Yeah. So it's for sale, and it has 2 water slides that even when the
is that the one you went to try to go?
Yeah, even when the swimming pool was open, the slides were shut down because they had been so old. Well, we had gotten really drunk, and I was like, let's go sneak into those. It's like 2 a.m. in the morning. There's police officers, Conway PD, that listen to this podcast. Ha, I'm in Jacksonville, fuckers. You can't catch me.
Out of your jurisdiction, fucker.
No, so we may or may not have climbed to the top of the water slides.
I was jealous
and hung
when
out
you told me that story.
on there. But I also may or may not have fallen for a mile and a half down the creek for 30 minutes. I was just like, oh shit, no, I'm good. Oh fuck, oh shit.
Someone help me. Help me.
I couldn't stop.
God bear me the strength.
But yeah, he's like, dude, I've never seen you like that. It's funny. We're 4 weeks after the freaking wedding. We're still talking about.
Is it 4 weeks?
It's like by the time this episode comes out.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because we're a week behind. Sorry,
That's
guys. You still have to hear about this. But I'm getting pretty spicy right now. We're gonna start calling this the Spicy Boys.
The old Spicy Boys.
Yeah. But this is gonna be.
People are gonna love it.
This is gonna be a longer episode than normal.
And I think people are gonna love it.
What's good about it is like you're not gonna get to the good stuff until the end, because that's when we're gonna be real saucy.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Come on this journey with us.
Yeah. And so you're not gonna get the best content until we're drunk. So you have to hang out with us until we're there.
When I was in high school, speaking of drunk, I remember I went to this party one time.
I'd never got drunk in high school.
Never?
I didn't.
Straight edge.
Yeah, I never tasted alcohol until I was 25.
Bro.
I wouldn't say I tasted it one time when I was like 8. Somebody put beer in a Sprite can.
Oh yeah.
To try to hide it at the family reunion.
The cool guys. No,
it was like my uncles that touched 14-year-olds.
You don't know that for sure, do you?
Yeah.
So
no, like initially, wait, hold on. Let me clear up some family stuff real quick.
Because initially when I said that, you just nodded your head, but you didn't say anything, and then you said something.
Well,
like, okay, so you want the world to know.
The uncles and cousins that do it, I don't give a flying fuck about, and they.
So, I think it's clear that we mentioned that you said uncles.
Yeah.
Cousins.
Yeah.
That's a plural.
Yeah. No. So I have like my grandma, my grandpa, my uncle, like my mother's brothers, my father's brothers. They're all good people. I'm not gonna say good people.
Are you gonna say good people and child molesters in the same sentence?
No. They're all good people. I don't necessarily agree with everything that they, like we have different beliefs, we have different ideas.
Baptist, you're atheist.
That kind of thing, but they're a little bit like self-righteous kind of thing. But it's my family, you know what I'm saying? Sure. Like that's my family. Then I have like my family that's the family reunion family that I see
once every 6 years.
Yeah. And they're not good people and have been arrested for things. So that kind of thing. I think everybody has that like side of their family.
There's a possibility based on what you just said that you and I might be kin to each other.
No, I honestly think just every family has that. It's true, man.
And I think you're right, dude. And like,
maybe that'll go away after generations, but I feel like
nope. I am 36 years old, and that has been a ongoing thing.
Well, I kind of think like you know how like in the 50s we were all so like shut off.
We weren't. It's. Here's the thing about the 50s.
Here's the thing with Mitchell.
Look, dude. People were still beating the fuck out of their wives.
But that's what I'm saying is like we were so oppressed about it
People didn't
that
talk
it
about it.
made it worse.
The 1950s
Do you think
were like the worst.
I would like to see the statistics, like actual statistics. And here's the problem: is you're never going to get actual statistics
because nobody talked about it,
right? And nobody talks about it now.
Yeah.
If you're currently being beat by your husband, you probably don't talk about it.
You learn to shut up.
It's like, well, Mitch, once you get that tequila in me, Sally better watch out. But it's not something that like if you're being beat currently right now in 2020, you're not talking about it and reporting it to things that statistics would be. You're going to report it in 2021
or to your therapist.
Whenever you've left your abusive husband, right? So I want to see like right now, this moment, how many more people are doing things like beating their wives, incest, all of those fucking weird things are happening right now as opposed to the 50s. Is it truly?
Oh, it's the same.
You think it's the same?
I think it's the same. Because so here's the thing so incest is weird.
You stopped yourself from saying it that time.
What?
Here's the thing. Here's the thing, everybody. Here's the thing about this.
Until you pointed it out, I didn't realize I said it that much. But incest, as wonderful as it sounds on paper, a lot like communism.
This is not like communism.
I think a big part of incest is exactly what you're talking about with the 1950s, where you have people who are unable to find partners.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, well why do you think fucking like the priests are touching little boys and shit?
Dude. So here's
tell a bunch of people they can't have sex for their whole lives and then see what happens.
True story, right? Years, 1900s, whatever, 1800s. Most priests became priests because they never felt an attraction to females.
Mm-hmm.
So they thought, this must be my calling. It must be my will to be celibate because I'm not attracted to females. And then they went into priesthood, and that was perpetuated throughout the years. And you're talking to somebody who comes from a Catholic background, and that's the truth.
Attracted to males?
I didn't say that. You said, those are your words, not my words. But yeah, that's where it all kind of started from. Was why you started dealing with that was because priests became priests, not because necessarily that they were like, I love God so much that I'm only going to have sex with him.
So here's a question: do you think that what you are attracted to is something that you can change?
No.
So you're attracted to women.
Yep. I have a very particular style of women.
And you have a very, you maybe like, for me, like, I typically like shorter girls. Mm-hmm. I like,
which is weird because you're like 6'4".
I know. I don't like white girls.
Dominance thing.
I don't like white girls because I am a white girl. She's not a white girl.
Oh, she's Iranian.
Yeah. Half Iranian. So, so here's the question: is if you are attracted to 13-year-old little boys, are you able to change that?
No.
So what's the purpose of going to prison for it? You know what I'm saying?
Because it's fucking illegal.
Right. But I'm saying like, well, I wouldn't say what's the purpose of going to prison. That's the wrong word. That's the wrong way to phrase that for sure. But I'm saying like, so how do you rehabilitate those people? Do you get what I'm saying? Like,
okay. So you're saying
they go to prison, they're going to come out.
Yeah.
Right. They're going to come out of prison still attracted to.
Yeah. No. I
to
feel
little
you.
boys.
Yeah, you're right. Because like the purpose of prison is to rehabilitate someone.
I'm glad I saved myself from that. That could have gotten real ugly for a minute.
I thought this conversation was going in a different direction.
The reason I asked that is because like there's a movie where they debated this. Like,
is it the one where they went out and they were talking about like doing chemical castration?
I don't remember.
No.
I had only got
bits you want to hear something even more fucked up?
No, because I'm in the middle of telling you a story.
Go ahead.
But basically they're arguing that like, these people are
Why
going
send them to prison if they're going to come out the same?
Right. They go to prison and then they come out.
Great question.
There was a guy too that like he was a foster parent.
Mm-hmm.
He had adopted children or whatever. I think they had fully adopted a child, and he'd realized that he was a pedophile. He was attracted.
He's like, oh, turns out, you know what?
Yeah, like I'm attracted to little kids. Fuck. And so his solution, he knew that it was wrong to do something with the child. He knew it'd be wrong to do that. So his solution to curb that appetite was to download porn.
Oh, well, you know what? You're not wrong. And I think that's why a lot of guys get trapped in that kiddie porn trap.
They thought that they were like, doing the right thing.
Right. I'm attracted to this. I need this. But I'm not going to do it myself.
Yeah.
But here's the fucked up
man. The Rough and Tumble podcast in fucking controversial shit right now.
Boom.
Jesus.
Right? Woke as fuck right now.
I don't know if this is woke or what.
I use
or
that
drunk.
Word. I use that. It's mostly drunk.
Yeah.
I use that word a lot more than I should. Woke.
It was that you wanted more.
I don't know. I was just rearranging the furniture.
Okay.
So.
Does that make sense though?
Yes.
Yeah.
No, it does make sense. And here's fucking crazy. But here's the catch-22 to that. So you look at it and go, okay, this is for example uses only. Let's say Johnny's like, you know what? I like that.
Don't do that. I teach kids classes. Don't do that.
So do I.
Put it on somebody else.
Okay. So
let's say
Josh.
Stan, don't. Okay. Here's the deal. We're not condoning anything like this.
And Eve, I have 5 daughters. If anybody out there thinks that I'm gonna have anything to do with that, I'll fucking fight you.
The argument is if you cannot change what you're attracted to, and I challenge you to change that. If you are attracted to women,
that's like me saying, "Go, hey Johnny, I know you love that Lizzie puzzle, but that butthole be looking good."
Right.
You can't do it.
Try to change. If you're attracted to women, try to change your attraction to men, and then tell me that you.
There you go.
Right. That's
there you go. Okay. So now 2 things. 1. Good.
She's coming. She's coming. She's got so much to say right now.
1, you cannot change. You can't change it.
Right.
You can't. Right.
Mm-hmm.
2, you have to accept that although you cannot change your sexual attraction, that doesn't mean that your sexual attraction is okay.
So what do you do? That's the problem. What is the solution?
You don't fuck little girls.
Right. But the problem, the situation that arose.
But from a human perspective, like from a sociological perspective.
For this particular guy, he was like, obviously I can't have sex with this child that I've adopted.
That's what I was going to say.
So
the problem
he downloads a bunch of porn.
Right. Which means that he is not the enemy. But somebody had to film that.
That's the problem.
That's the problem.
Is that there's still children being victimized. Still a victim. So what's the solution? How do you solve that attraction?
You chop their dicks off.
Simple, and it might have been that documentary that they were talking about that.
I think it was.
But it was
called chemical castration, where they basically give you a chemical that completely fucks up your stuff to where you have no
attraction.
There's you have no sex.
Maybe that's it.
I think that's the only safe way to
do it. So
if
you can erase the attraction, then why can't you reverse the attraction?
For the same reason you can't reverse the fact that you don't want to have sex with me in my butthole.
Who's saying that I don't?
Nothing you said was wrong.
So, but if we can erase, obviously there's somewhere in our brain that's releasing a chemical that makes us attracted to somewhere on the spectrum.
There's some wiring crossed.
So how do you fix that?
Until we figure out what it is, until we figure out what wiring is being crossed, we can't answer that question.
Wow, dude.
You know what I mean?
What a topic. I didn't think we were going to dive into this one.
Here it is.
Episode 21, and we are tackling the big...
We became adults today.
That was...
Episode 21, we're adults.
I don't know if that's being adult. Well...
You shut your mouth.
Now that I don't have a job anymore...
Now that I'm kind of doing what I want.
Yeah, I feel like... Ooh, buddy... That's a dicey topic.
It's dicey because you
get what I'm saying. I think that I explained my point.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
And just in case anybody is confused, Johnny is not saying he wants to hump
yeah
little girls. He's saying that if we know for a fact we cannot rehabilitate people in those circumstances, and the purpose of prison is to rehabilitate people for committing a crime, you're being objective, right? You're
Right.
just being
Yeah.
objective.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
it.
I don't
Because
think that.
I've constantly asked the question that. So I think teachers get paid plenty of money, but there's people out there that think teachers should get paid more.
I saw a quote the other day that was it's one of those stupid fucking Instagram quotes that I hate, but it
Those are the
really
best.
made a lot of sense. It said I wanted to be a garbage man until my teacher convinced me out of it, and then I grew up and I found out that the garbage man makes more than the teacher. And I started thinking about that. That's so fucked up. You know, that's what's wrong. Obviously, I don't think that the garbage man necessarily makes more than the teacher. Maybe it depends on where you live at.
I'm gonna tell you right now. They do.
Okay, well,
Garbage men have to get a CDL.
I thought that was the coolest fucking job ever when
Garbage
I was
man?
a kid. Can you imagine going down the open road, hanging off the back of a fucking garbage
like
truck?
Marty McFly on a hoverboard,
Dude,
on the back of a Jeep.
you
in fucking Back to the Future 2.
One day, maybe episode 100, we'll have my mother on here.
Was she a garbage woman?
No, she'll tell you how much I wanted to be a garbage man.
Dude, get after it.
I'm not bringing my mother on here.
No, I'd love to
Episode
meet her.
100. I'll make that commitment. If we make it to episode 100,
We will.
I'll bring my mother on here.
I cannot wait.
I love my mother dearly,
I
but,
love Angie as well.
but fuck. And like, yeah,
I've never met her in my life.
she's a great woman, but
She raised you, so I can imagine.
all of my dramatic tendencies
Are from
come
her?
from her.
I've heard about her YouTube comments,
Yeah.
which is the reason I want to meet her all the more.
Her and my father are completely opposite. It's the weirdest relationship.
That's hilarious.
It's so weird. My dad is like,
Chill.
he's very chill, relaxed, easygoing, kind of stern at times, but mostly just like going with the flow. And my mom is like high strung, very creative, very like outgoing, and like just all over the place. Yeah. I don't even want to think. She has zero filter.
I love it.
I
love it.
It's scary.
Well, it's scary as the child. It's hilarious as the outsider.
Yeah. One time when I was in middle school, she threatened me if I got in trouble one more time in middle school.
Did you punch in the dick?
No, she was going to go to school with me and sit in
That's
every
the
one
best.
of my classes.
That's the best.
And she did it.
I told my daughter the same thing.
Yeah.
I told my daughter one time. I said,
Your daughter gets in trouble at school?
dude, I have 5 kids.
Yeah.
So
I didn't think girls got in trouble at school.
fuck yeah, they do.
Your daughter honestly is like
Let me tell you.
getting in trouble.
Let me tell you.
Did she
listen?
get in trouble at school, or is she like getting in trouble at school?
She got and gets.
Okay.
Yes.
How old is she?
9.
Okay. All right. That's about the time whenever it gets to be outrageous.
So she is outrageous.
Yeah.
So
Good. You go, girl.
I'm just saying.
I hope she
I
listens to
support
this
all of it.
podcast.
Oh, she does.
You get it, girl.
She listens to everything. She's a pretty good.
Don't let this idiot push you around.
No, she knows she has the coolest dad in the world. So I have my stepdaughter Ansley, who is so Ansley's kind of middle of the road, right? So Ansley she's an amazing artist, right? She draws like a motherfucker, really good artist. Hopefully she goes and becomes a tattoo artist one day.
Because that's literally all. That's the most profitable thing you can do.
You make way more money
unless you become like a famous comic artist or work for Pixar.
This day and age, I'm sorry, Ansley. Start getting tattoos and piercings now.
Pixar has like 100 artists, and there's about 100,000 tattoo artists in the world.
So she's really good at art, but she's middle of the road when it comes to like math, science, whatever. And then I have my daughter Peyton, who is the one that gets in trouble. And
this is the longest episode we've ever had.
You know what? If people click on fucking play, that's their problem.
No, I'm happy with it.
Okay. So then Peyton got in trouble. Here's my favorite thing. So they were doing the number tree, and there's teachers out there who are listening to our podcast, which is 0. No teachers listen to this podcast, but if you're familiar with Common Core math, there's like these number trees or whatever the fuck it's called.
Oh, that shit trips me out,
it's
man.
It's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Bro.
Some of that, I'm like, whoa.
Yeah. I have
it's
no
like
clue.
Magic.
It's no clue to me. So anyway, She, instead of figuring out how to do a number tree, she just goes, fuck it. I'm going to copy off my neighbor.
Yeah.
Because she's also a good artist.
Mm-hmm.
So she just copied his number tree. Well, then the teacher was like, wait a second. That looks an awful lot like Johnny's number tree. Can you explain to me how you came up with those answers? She was like, nope. So respect, right? Like, and I even told her that. I was like, Peyton, look, here's the thing. You can't cheat. However, comma, if that graduates you through high school.
Yeah. That's exactly how I was a kid.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. They're like, did you punch him? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I did. He deserved it. So I punched him. And they're like, listen, you can't fight everyone
the hell
that you meet. And they're like, did you skip school? Yeah, I didn't want to go. You can't. But I told you that I didn't want to go.
I'm being honest right now.
So I didn't go.
I told you I didn't go.
Do you have rules for your life? Do you have like life general? So I'm gonna give you 3. Okay, I'll let you list off 3.
Go ahead.
I don't have any. Well, I do. I do have some. I'm sorry, I do have some. I don't have necessarily 3. I'm just making that up right now. I want you to tell me 3 general life rules that Mitchell has for his life.
It's gonna sound super gay. Oh, I should say that.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna sound stupid. Because, it's gonna sound stupid, which to me is the same as the other word I said earlier. I love you, Zach. I love you, Zach. So,
you can't list off the one gay person that you know.
I only know 2 gay people. 3. I know 4.
So that's a group.
I know a lot of gay people.
Okay, there you go.
Oh, I'm sorry, guys. They all know.
You don't have to shout them out. Just move on.
They know I'm a good person.
Just move on.
Okay, so I used to tell my son this all the time. 3 rules, right? So you said 3 rules. So I used to tell my son all the time, I said, 1, always try to be the smartest person in the room. 2, always try to be the hardest person in the room to kill. That's true.
Yeah.
And 3, always try to be the strongest person in the room, right? So when I said that to him, and I still say it to this day, is always try to be the smartest person in the room. The idea is always seek answers. Always try to educate yourself. Always try to never be happy with where you are mentally, right?
Right.
And then always be the hardest person in the room to kill. Comes down to train a martial art, wrestle, MMA, Muay Thai, whatever. Like train your body, right? And then the third being always try to be the strongest person in the room. That's just take care of your body. Like go to the gym, work out, condition yourself. Like in the event of a zombie apocalypse, like you and I have talked about this. You even said you're trying to work on your strength and conditioning, right? Mm-hmm. Right. Okay. So
that's why I'm drinking this Bud Light Lime right now.
Well, it's a light. It's Bud Light.
Yeah, and it has lime. That's a vegetable.
Yep, it's vegan. Mm-hmm. So I told those things to my son, and so a big part of that was like, I told my son, like, hey, look, dude, every month, at least listen to a book on tape.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's nothing wrong with that. Like Audible, it's super cheap. It's super easy to listen to a whole book. In a month, if you can't listen to a fucking book, you have problems with time management.
Yeah.
Know? So that was my whole thing. Like, always try to be the smartest person in the room. Always be the hardest person in the room to kill. And then always try to be the strongest or fastest person in the room. And if you do those things, you will constantly try to educate your mind, your body, and your spirit. That was my whole thing. I don't teach my daughters those things.
I think that it's subjective to the person. My number 1 is actually, and it's legitimately 100% honestly opposite of one of your rules that you had said about being the smartest person in the room. All right. I always do not want to be the smartest person in the room.
And that's the difference between winners and losers.
A lot of it comes from learning jiu-jitsu, learning MMA, learning kickboxing.
So being a constant student.
So I approach it a little bit differently. I want to surround myself with the smartest people in the room. Mm-hmm. People that are smarter than me so that I can learn from them. That kind of idea. And so it's the same basic idea that you were saying, but the different different phrasing.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
So number 2 was I won't let anyone ever tell me how to live my life. And
you've nailed that.
I take that very, very, very seriously. And I've had a lot of time to think on these drives to work and back.
It's lovely.
And I think about like where that idea comes from and where that passion of like, I won't let people tell me what to do with my life, to the point where like I'll do something intentionally opposite.
Just be a dick.
If I want to pour milk and then add cereal to it, and that's the way that I eat cereal, rather than pouring cereal and then add milk, that's the fucking way that I'm not harming anybody.
No.
If I want to run my business into the fucking ground,
let me do
because I hate that place. Let me do it. And that's not what I'm doing.
Or because
Gravitas students.
No,
that's not what I'm doing. But you get what I'm saying? Like,
no, I get it, dude.
If I make a decision for my business and I want to go down that route, don't fucking tell me how to do it differently.
And that's the thing, is like a lot of people give those insights under the guise of advice.
I'll listen to it. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. It's information received.
Once you've delivered the package,
let it go.
Be done with it.
Yeah,
be done with it.
And after that, I'll figure out what I want to do with it.
Be done with it.
But yeah, that's something that I very intentionally have always lived my life by. And like, I remember the moment when I learned that. Do you ever like remember moments? Day. Yeah. See, I have all kinds of things where I'm like,
I watched Power Rangers, the movie, last night.
Dude, I'm telling you, Power Rangers is a big part of why I do what I do now.
Go on.
Yeah. I made my parents buy me the costume, the white Power Ranger costume for Halloween, and I wore that until my birthday, which I don't remember. If you remember me telling you my birthday's in March, like that helmet fucking stunk.
From October.
Yeah, dude. Like I would go
October to March.
I remember going to my friends' houses in spandex, knocking on their doors, and they were like, "We don't want to hang out with you because you're fucking weird.
And you smell, and you have a helmet on."
Yeah.
Here's the wonderful thing about being an adult. Okay, so true story on this whole Power Rangers thing. So when I was a kid, I was obsessed with the Power Rangers, like to the point where like I woke up every morning, I watched every episode,
same,
everything about.
My dad was a big part of that. My dad always watched it with me.
You are super lucky, right?
I am,
because he used to come on at like 6 a.m. Like, it was early in the morning.
My dad watched like we made it an event to watch the very first one.
That's super cool.
Yeah,
that's super cool, man.
He took me to all the movies. He's really cool about that.
So two things. One, so I was obsessed with Power Rangers, but I was also, from an early age, I was obsessed with martial arts.
Yeah.
And so the Power Rangers were like the Ninja Turtles of like a second generation, right? Because I love the Ninja Turtles as well. And I loved the martial arts aspect of the Ninja Turtles. But as I got older, the Ninja Turtles fell away and Power Rangers picked up. Right?
Yeah.
I even met the Yellow Ranger.
Oh, really?
I met
Dude,
Training.
she was fucking hot.
Yeah, the Asian chick. Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah. So make sure you were talking about the black chick.
I remember even my dad
okay, hold on. I'm not saying that black chicks aren't attractive.
I remember watching the Power Ranger movie, and then my dad being like, "Dude, the Pink Ranger was fucking hot."
Kimberly was the hottest chick.
I'm pretty sure she did porn. One of them did porn.
It's funny that you say that because a part of my brain was like, I think she did porn.
One of them did. I know that they did.
Yeah. So
it's fantastic.
So I grew up obsessed with the Power Rangers, right? And I grew up kind of a single income family. My dad was a police officer. My mom didn't really do much. You know, eventually she became a postal worker and stuff like that. But like early on, so my mom had me when she was, my mom was 15 years old when she had me.
Whoa, that's crazy.
Yeah. So my dad was 19.
My mom was 22, I think.
Right. So you put that in perspective. And that's
how old was your dad?
19.
Oh.
Yeah. So, but it was the South. So like.
It was the South.
It was okay. It was okay.
It is, honestly, like,
it was okay.
It's weird, but it's
weird, but it's okay.
I'm not going to say that it's okay, but it's accepted.
It was accepted. Right?
Yeah. I've known like 14-year-old girls dating 18-year-old dudes.
Yeah.
And the parents are like, yeah, it's okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It's like, okay.
Yeah.
It's weird.
And it was. And so it wasn't weird. I was born. I told a joke. I told a joke off air.
You didn't have to whisper. Dude, I already knew.
I know, but I wanted you to know who I was thinking of. Jonny and I have a friend that fell into that category, and it was way funnier. But we won't say it online because we like the guy. So, but yeah, so my dad was 19, my mom was 15, and a big part of that was she grew up in a small town and wanted to get out, and my dad was the way out. So that's how it worked out, And I've got, my mom passed away on December 3rd, this last 2019, but I have pictures of her when she was 14, and it's weird because I'm looking at pictures of my mom when she's 14 years old.
Yeah.
Which is 1 year
she's
before she became pregnant with me.
Okay. She was pregnant when she was
15.
Was
like about to be pregnant with me. It's fucking
That
crazy.
is weird, man.
Now, I will say this, generationally, when I saw my mom at 14 years old, does not look like a 14-year-old.
Yeah, it's very much
They
different.
look like 25-year-old women.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy.
They've seen some shit.
Some shit, yes.
Yeah, like their dad's already gone to war and come back.
Well, my mom
you've gone to war and come back.
I have a couple times.
Yeah.
But my mom didn't know her dad. So,
dude, that's so weird. Do you think about that at all? Like how much different war is now compared to World War II?
It's 100%.
Do you think we've talked about this last episode about the difference about like you see soldiers that have PTSD, and you've kind of found it weird that you don't necessarily have
any of the
side effects or whatever.
Yeah.
So I think it's far more likely for the Vietnam War era, World War II era to have PTSD because I kind of get a little bit why you don't have PTSD. From what I understand of your job, you're flying in planes.
That's correct.
And you're not like shooting, right? Like you're not really, you're doing like mostly like.
You're exactly right. And you're on the right page. So, and I think it's important because I highly respect our ground forces. And so I don't want anyone to ever think that like, oh, Mitch thinks it's better.
Well, and I also don't want to take away from what you're doing. Right. Like I don't mean to be like that, but
so the difference is that yes, our infantry guys and things like that, they are on the ground. They're watching
Yeah.
They're watching their friends get blown up.
But even in World War II, Vietnam era, being in airplanes was different.
It was way different.
Yeah.
Yes. So for me, yes, I deal with what we call CASEVAC, which is casualty evacuations. Like whenever the Chow Hall was bombed in Iraq. Like, yes, all those, like, people forget that like all those casualties in Baghdad are in Iraq that had to go to Germany. C-130s carried them to Germany.
Yeah.
So like all those guys that were blown the fuck up, like, yes, we carried them. We took them out. We brought them in. We helped load them onto the litters. The whole 9 yards. But yes, I did not watch my best friend get shot in the face.
Well, and it's not necessarily about that either. Like I have a friend and a student who like he was in Afghanistan. I don't know if it was Afghanistan, Iraq, somewhere. He was deployed, and his job at the moment was to guard a helicopter that was on a landing pad. Well, there were soldiers who ended up approaching the landing pad that hadn't announced that he didn't know that we're supposed to come. The fear of I'm about to have to shoot these motherfuckers, and then the shock of those are my friends that I almost fucking killed.
Yeah,
kind of gave him PTSD.
No, it will. So like, it will.
It doesn't have to be because you killed somebody or because you were shot at.
It's a traumatic event,
right?
Yeah.
So I'm curious. Is like.
So sometimes a lot of it, like, so for us, and that's what's weird about being aircrew is every time we fly into the AOR, every time we fly into Baghdad, Iraq, or whatever, we were getting shot at, right? We under night vision goggles, we're watching MVG, we're watching tracer rounds, RPGs, the whole 9 yards, SAMs, whatever.
But that's not something you can necessarily do something about either.
That's the crazy part about it. I can't go hide behind a burnt out vehicle to avoid getting shot by an RPG.
I mean, if you see something, you can't go shoot back at him.
Right. Yeah. I have to try to avoid it at the at the most. Not to say that what those guys are dealing with is more critical or whatever, but the reality is that people have this idea that like, oh, we're in an airplane. Yeah, we are in an airplane. Guess what? We're super predictable. So we're coming across the threshold of an airline into Baghdad International, and all you have to do is camp out at the end of the runway, and we're always going to be there.
I heard an NPR story today about somebody talking about protecting ships going through Iranian waters and how nerve-wracking that is. And I can't imagine like They're saying like the thing that's different about basically they were doing security on a ship, and the thing that's different about doing that is like normally you the person pops up out of nowhere and you're like, oh my god,
Right.
bang bang, you're dead. When you're in a ship, you're surrounded by miles of open water.
Yes.
So you see another ship that's coming to attack you from miles away.
So as an example,
And then you have to anticipate and be anxious that whole fucking way while they approach you. As to, are they friendly? Are they going to try
Right.
to kill us? Are they going to,
so as an example, there were many times where we flew missions in 2016 where we were bordering Iran. Right?
Yeah.
So we're flying missions that are daylight missions bordering the country of Iran, and they have missiles, and they locked on to us the entire time we were in their
That's
airspace,
terrifying.
right?
Do you hear, is it like what you hear in video games where you hear like a
no.
beep?
It's not that. We have a small display that it's like a triangle or a diamond that says, this is this type of lock, and they are locked onto you, and they will follow you the entire way.
So it doesn't play a sound or anything?
It doesn't. You can do...
Is that normal though? Like if you fly through territory of an area, they're going to lock onto you just 100%. To make sure?
Yes.
Okay,
absolutely.
yeah.
So China, Iran, North Korea, places like that.
The same thing would happen if they came through the United States.
We do the same thing to them.
Yeah.
Russia will... So on multiple occasions, Russia has either what they'll do is they will send fighters into Alaska airspace to test the response capabilities of the U.S. Or on the East Coast or Northeast, so East Coast, they'll send naval ships to the East Coast to see what our response time is. Like we're friends with them, but we're not friends with them.
So what happens if you fly through the UK? Will they do the same thing, or is it just no, you're free to go?
They're part of NATO. Yeah, so like the UK, most of those countries, Australia, places like that.
So that's kind of part of the deal with NATO is like, like you get pretty much free access through whatever.
Because when I was doing operations in South America, so we're not cool with Cuba, but we have a base down there called Guantanamo Bay, right?
Yeah.
So we're not cool with them, but at the same time, we accept the fact
we
that
occupy part
of the country. But Venezuela is not okay with us.
Yeah.
And so when we were passing through Venezuela airspace, they will refuse to answer you, right? So when we're passing through their airspace, we will contact them in English. At the time, I had a pilot friend of mine who was my co-pilot, who was my aircraft commander, who was Puerto Rican, he spoke Spanish. So we passed through Venezuelan airspace. They did not answer. We're basically requesting permission to pass through their airspace. They wouldn't answer. So then he went on the radio and spoke in Spanish, requesting permission. They still wouldn't answer. But they're speaking to other airplanes in the airspace who are Venezuelan the whole time. So we had to go what was called due regard. Due regard means that you do not have permission to pass through their airspace. You do not have their permission, but the U.S. has said, you're good to go.
Okay.
So it's one of those things where like,
they're not going to dare to attack us.
If they challenge us, there's a whole lot of shit that goes down.
Yeah.
So we put that American flag on the windshield of the airplane and we charge ahead.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It's called due regard. So basically, like, we don't have their permission to pass through their airspace, but we have NATO
It's like a girlfriend that says, I don't care what you do.
Yeah, put it in my
butt.
Like,
you can do whatever you want.
You do whatever you want, but like, I'm not going to be okay with anything you do, but I'm also not going to complain about it.
Yeah. You know? That's crazy.
Oh my God, I have to pee so bad.
I do too. Can we wrap this episode up?
Let's do that.
Okay, because we've talked just a bunch of fucking nonsense for 3 hours.
Totally
We're
nonsense.
Seriously at 3 hours. I'm drunk.
I love it.
And we've drank in everything in our...
That's it. Yeah.
In our 12-pack. So that's the episode. We haven't shouted out our Patreon or our YouTube in a while.
Go out there. Give us your money. And...
here's the next goal. I made it up today. Our first goal was $100 a month. Okay. We're almost there. We're like inches away from it. I'm almost considering us there. You know what? I completely forgot what I promised that we were going to release when we hit 100. Wow. Honestly, I think I already released it. So we're going to have to make something else up. When we hit 100, we'll release something special. But when we hit 250,
yeah.
I want to make sure I got that all on here.
That was like a T-Rex roar.
Yeah. When we hit 250, I think that, I mean, I'm pretty much all in, right? I feel like you're pretty much all in.
Always.
So I think if we hit $250 a month, I can commit half of $250 a month to get a studio.
Let's do it.
$500 a month, we could get a nice studio space.
Let's do it.
You know, and then like $250 split 2 ways. There's no way to tell how much that is. Nobody knows that kind of math.
I'm so uncomfortable right now.
But, you know, $75 a month, I could do that.
Let's do it.
And then everybody else pay the rest of the way.
Shout out to Scott. Shout out to Scott.
Go check out the Hammercast.
Go check out the Hammercast.
Yeah.
Awesome. Shout out to Steve Monet, my tattoo artist at Electric Panthers in Cabot. Shout out to Jonny Wester, my third best friend.
My bathroom.
And shout out to the fact that I have to piss.
Yep. All right. This is the end. Later. Peace.
Love you guys.